shack at. The bottles getting nifty up the Kraken. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What's up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, April 20th, 420. Happy 420 to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. It was a middling day yesterday, 7-6 plus 0.75 units. I was just shocked and appalled that Marc-Andre Fleury was in between the pipes for Minnesota. Obviously, that made our Stars -1, very easy. But I would never have been on the under had I known that they would make such a ridiculously bad decision. Now, at least, nobody will be whining when it's Gustafsson every night. But that sucked. 2-2 plus 0.1 unit in NHL. 2-2 minus 0.15 units in MLB with the two pushes as well on the Tigers first 3 and first 5. And then 3-2 plus 0.8 units. I got caught up. Had to take care of some family stuff and because of it, I couldn't get the Grizzlies action in. And when it started, we said, if Jaw's out, if Giannis is out, I went on both. And then it's the game started out exactly as we had thought, and so I tripled up on the Bucks. The problem is that I also took the Wolves first quarter and first half, so 3-2 plus 0.8 units in NBA. Not good enough, but a little bit of black makes you not as angry. But we're not succeeding at the level that I want to. We had a big talk on March 7th, and then we caught fire. But it seems just sort of to be slipping, and it can't slip. It can't slip. I've had 2 bad Sundays in a row. I'm looking forward to this Sunday. We have Giants, Mets. And then for NBA, what do we have for? Sorry, I gotta remember here for Sunday. Sunday we have Celtics Hawks, and then of course we'll have the Nuggets game going in about an hour into Celtics Hawks. So it's just not enough. It's not enough. I want to win very badly, and it's just So let's get to work and get that cash. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Brian Watson says, is Hedman out for Tampa Bay? Thanks. Yes, I expect he's out. That's not being confirmed, but I would bet heavy that he's going to be out, miss game 2, and then come back, while you're at home, or at least go home and let your home doctors take a look at you. That's my expectation there. Brian Watson. So I do not expect, he says, if Tampa Bay has all those players out, Leafs should win. Yeah, the Leafs should win. The Leafs should have made it out of the first round since 2004. The Leafs probably should have won a round the last 6 years. I don't know if it's enough. Should. Marcus Ryan ready to go. Penny Bomb says Islanders lost, suck last night. Really hoping they hold on to that and get it done. They're in big trouble now. I've already moved on the under 5 again. Look, it lost. There were goals scored. It looked good, obviously, after the first period 1-0, but I don't care. I'm going right back to the well. We got Marcus Ryan Marcus R. In the house. Ryan Mueller ready to get to work. Says, why is the NHL paying the ass cap? It's not going to be. We have Mr. Gogster here. Mr. Gogster, fresh off a 4-4 day, but plus 4.88 units because he cashes plus 495 parlay. So he finished the year in the black, and I've already made bets. I've hammered today's board. Hammered it, but focused on 2 games, and then I've already bet heavy tomorrow. We can really get ahead of things here. The lines aren't moving that much, though. A Viper MB in the house. Clint started the Die Hard MMA podcast, giving out Curtis Blades -170. Blades -170. I will copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Clint. AOD in the house. Love capping with AOD, man. He brings great energy to the show. I love rocking with him. Rocco Rogers, Markel, Subhuman Gaucho, the Nuke Worker says, good morning, fellas. Lost with the Isles plus 150 in OT. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, look, it's going to get even tougher for the Canes. Now they don't have Teravainen. He's out with a broken hand. So, God, you take Svechnikov and Teravainen off of that team. How are they going to score? I don't know how they're going to score. They're going to win games. They're going to be winning games very low scoring. I'm interested in going back to the Islanders here in game 3, but it's minus 110. Is that enough? I'm not sure. Marcus R looking at Kyle Connor over 2.5 shots on goal. Sergachev over 1.5 shots on goal. Nathan McKinnon over a half assist. Eric Halla over 1.5 shots on goal. And that is his $2,000 bet to make 12,000. Wow, I will be watching that very closely and cheering for you heavy, Marcus R. Get that cake. Leonard Porsche Jr. ready to go North Ender says, read the NBA like a script last night. Under Lakers, Grizz W with no job, Bucks smashed out Giannis. Yeah, I don't know why I had to add in Minnesota. I don't know why I had to, but whatever. Darren Turner ready to go. Mike M coming off a monster day. I love that. Justin McElvey, serious business. Andrew G. North Ender, Vincent Ramirez, Imp 13, Swiss Horton. Mike M says throughout Guardians live at bottom of the 5th, and minutes later they get 3 runs. That started the day. It didn't stop until the card ended last night. I love that. RVD 420. Billy Friedrich says Leafs are wrecked, may get swept. Equinimus, Christopher Commentini ready to eat. We got Von Polo, Leroy Flood, Spenny Penny Bombs, Rich H, Andrew G, Nasty Nate. There's Lucas Ryan in the house. And he said, you're right. Once he saw Fleury, he attacked. Like I got stuck dealing with some family stuff between 5 and 7. But life gets in the way sometimes, Rem Most on the under 8 in San Francisco, Miami cash, but was unnecessary sweat job. 1-1 extra innings. These extra innings are driving me absolutely batty. There's Loopy in the house. Loopy, I was a little late checking out my email. I checked it out last night, and I was just, it's just the hours that we have to put in to properly cap the card. But I will reach back out at you, and thank you for reaching out at me, my man. Von Polo says, can't wait to see my new baby. Can't wait till me and my wife find out what we're having. Congratulations, Von Polo. Adding to the Von Polo family. And we've got to hang out and meet your kids, and they're very, very wonderful. You got a great family, Von Polo. Congratulations. What wonderful, wonderful news. Wonderful news. So Dan Kelly says 4 playoffs. I have extra work to do on my database because the schedule isn't set in advance like the regular season. So nearly every day I'm a few minutes into doing work. We love you, Dan, and thank you for caring so much about all that hard work. It means a ton. To us. All right, we got to get to work here. So Danielson, Joe Ortner, Danny Lopez, thank you guys for rolling with us. The Reaver in the house. I got to hang. Speaking of, new family members, new children in our families. The Reaver just had a son, his first son. I got to meet him in San Antonio, and I got to meet your beautiful wife. Very cool, very, very cool family, the Reaver. All right, Slatsy says, slight profit last night. Rangers intrigued me. Betting on Vegas makes me uncomfortable. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. I've opened it up, man. I've pulled out the old wallet on that one. I'm hammering that game very hard. As hard as I've hammered any game really this year. I'll have $600 on that game. And the Avalanche is the same way. So I'm attacking those 2 spots in a big, big way. Marcus says, is it worth taking the Rangers puck line? Well, let's talk it all out. Billy Brisbane says, is it NHL time yet? Inject playoff hockey in my veins. I love that. Brizzy's going to be rolling with us here in NBA as well. Spenny's going back to the Rangers. Let's get to work here right now. Look at Nasty Nate up 14 units last 2 days. I love that. I reached out to Mr. Gogster. I told him that he was down 0.68 units in the regular season. And it's, he's given over 300 bets here. He's given out 355 bets on the air. And that's hard. It's hard to succeed he had a 2-day a week sample size for a little bit, went down to 1 day a week. And I challenged him. I was like, get into the black, man. You're so close. And he followed through, going 4-4 plus 4.88 units. He finishes the regular season, 165 wins and 190 losses, 46.5%. But you can hit 46.5% when your average line is plus 122. He's up 4.2 units on the year, ROI plus 1.18%. And I was proud to see him succeed. I was very proud to see him succeed. And now it's playoff time. So now he's got to get to double-digit units on the season, and I believe in him. Please welcome from Belleville, Ontario, Mr. Gogster to the show. Gogster, how are you?
I'm good, Jimmy. What's going on, guys? All fired up as can be. We got playoff hockey and all those Leafs. They looked awful. Can't say they didn't look bad, Jim. They looked absolutely awful. It was a debacle to say the least, but you know what? They took out the guys they needed to take out. We lost Bunting, but they also lost 2 defensemen. Not confirmed, as you said earlier on, but it's looking like they're going to be out here for a bit. Also another player we'll get to, but what's going on, everyone in the chat? Feeling good about this card, guys. Game 2s are underway. Let's get after it, Jim.
Is there anything more profitable long-term than game 2s in every well, I'm hesitant to count baseball into that, but in NHL and NBA, there's just nothing more profitable than game 2s. Let's attack Mr. Gogster, and great job. We had a lot of cappers cashing your plus 495 parlay last week. Excellent work. Okay, Billy Brisbane demanding you take the jersey off. Okay, let's get to work here. East. First round, game 2, Tampa Bay up 1-0. This pops off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Lightning 46-30 and 6, 18, 22 and 1 on the road. The Toronto Maple Leafs are 50, 21, 11, 27, 8 and 6 at home at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. There's razor sharp picks in the house as well. We got Slatsy ready to get to work as well. Let's go into the line history here for our first NHL game on the board. And I'm attacking today's card, but only on 2 games. 6 bets on 2 games, and this is not one of them. The Leafs open up minus 153. They got up to minus 171. There's been a little bit of buyback. Every time it gets up to minus 170, there's buyback on the Lightning. From a total perspective, this opened up at 6, minus 115 to the over, and it keeps everything, it flirts with 6.5 and then comes back to 6 and 6.5 and 6. Yeah. That is the situation here. Let's go. Vasilevsky versus Samsonov. We went over Samsonov's playoff numbers, and they're atrocious. Expecting something different is risky. He got lit up in his first game. Is he mentally tough? I don't know. He certainly doesn't seem that way come playoff time. But, he's got a countryman across the rink from him who is the best goaltender of our generation. Vasilevsky, just as
he's proven it.
Seems to be in complete control. Tampa Bay this year were above average. They were a good hockey team. 3rd highest ranked power play in the league. 15th penalty kill. They were 11th on face-off wins at 51.6%. Leafs are the 4th best face-off team in the league, and we expect them to take advantage of that throughout the playoff series here. But it won't be enough, or will it be enough? Will it be enough? Razor Sharp Pick says Raptors are out. Maple Leafs are next. It says, can someone check on DG? The Lightning dominated game 1, 7-3 in Toronto on Tuesday night. It was 1-0 Lightning a minute in, 3-0 after the first period. Braden Point scored twice. Kucherov and Corey Perry. Look at Corey Perry still doing it. Playoff time. Goal and 2 assists.
Goalie Perry.
O'Reilly's got to be big in this series. He's got to win faceoffs. He scored a goal. Nylander is, when Mitch Marner had 3 assists. Austin Matthews had 2 assists. Why were they so bad? And John Tavares, old Johnny 1T, couldn't give us an answer. Just said that they're disappointed, and it's a hard one to explain. 6 goals allowed on 29 shots. Samsonov did before he was replaced. And look, this team hasn't advanced since 2004. They've lost 7 straight series since 2013. They've lost 6 in a row with Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. But you have Cernak and Hedman out. That's not being confirmed, but Cernak is out for sure. And then I expect Hedman to be out. So Bunting is going to be suspended for 3 games, so he's out on the other side. And Zach Bogosian, old vet, slow, very slow, will be in. He played 3 of Lightning's 9 final games of the year. We expect him to replace Cernak, and we expect Hayden Fleury to replace Hedman. And Tanner Jeannot is now a game-time decision. I expect Jeannot, and I expect Hedman, if they're going to be back, to not do it here in game 2 when you're up 1-0. I think they'll come back in game 3 at home. Mr. Gogster, I've not moved on this game. You are in the black after a strong regular season. Great work, my friend. I loved seeing it. Take it away. The floor is yours. Lightning, Leafs, game 2.
Okay, guys, I'll try and keep the Canadian accent down to a minimum, but wish me luck. This is a big stat here for you guys. They were 5-on-5, Jim, 1.7 Tampa Bay goals expected. They weren't doing anything on the 5-on-5. The problem was the Leafs couldn't stay out of the box. Wes McCulley didn't help the fact, but 4 for 8 in the power play. Tampa Bay was that's just killer. 4 for 8, like that's just ridiculous. Toronto was 2 for 4, but you stay out of the box. They should. That's just a big thing. You stay out of the box. They got a depleted 2 guys in the back end, like Jimmy was saying. 5-on-5, Toronto did have the advantage. It's just Samsonov, he didn't look good in that first game, Jim, but I'm going to give him another shot here at home. I'm going to expect Tampa Bay to be playing a little more defensive. What else do we got here? 9-11-2. I know this is the playoffs, but on the road, leading into this end of the season, they were not a good road team, this Tampa Bay team. Now they're without their top 2 defensemen, Jimmy. I know they're bringing in Fleury.
Sergachev plays more than Hedman. All year long, Sergachev plays more than Hedman. You can't say that Cernak and Hedman are the best 2 defensemen. I don't think.
No, you're right. I was taking those words from. He's just a humble guy, like that Sergachev. Because humble, I was taking those words from him. He said that one of the interviews. But no, you're right. He is the guy that takes. He's the heavy horse. Sergachev, a huge fan of Sergachev. But power play advantage here, Jim, on the penalty kill. They're only 75% here. I have leading, and I know that's the regular season, but I'm going to take some assault into that. I know Sergachev is going to be playing a lot, but the 5-on-5, they're offensively here. Toronto's going to go all to the wall, Jim, and I really don't see. I don't see how do you see Tampa Bay winning this game? I don't want to seem too much like a homer. I probably already do, but I don't see the player that's also going to be replacing. I know I'm all over the map here, guys. All excited. I got the coffee all fired up, Jim. So Knives. What's his first name there? I lost the tab. But Knives, yeah, he's going to be on the 3rd line here. It looks like with O'Reilly and Achari. So I liked him on the 3rd line. I don't think he should be on the 1st line, even though a lot of people want him there. He's also from Phoenix, Arizona, same as Matthews. A guy who's a great hockey player. Guy who's played for the Olympic team, played for the U20 team in the years. And what did he just come off? I think it was Minnesota. He was a point per game player too. So they got some young legs in the lineup too. They're going to add. All these teams too, Jimmy, I wanted to bring up, guys, all of these home teams lost their first game. So this is a good spot, I think, for a lot of these home teams, because the last thing any of these teams can do is they're going to be desperado if they lose this second game going into the opposing team's home ice. So this is a big game for Toronto here, Jim, and with the 2 defensemen out, along with Tanner Jeannot, expect him probably to come back in the second game. Along with Esimont, he's out. Great hit from McCabe on him. Keep your head up, bud. I'm looking at Toronto, Jim. Regulation. I think they're going to take care of this. Not going to overtime. Toronto regulation plus 100. That's going to be my main look. I was even thinking of tying it into a parlay. I'm still going to hold on to that because I really don't think Toronto's going to lose this game. If they lose this game, they're not winning the series. They're dead to rights. But this is a Toronto win.
A couple things before my rebuttal. First off, shout out to Michael Piccioni, now a member with us for 2 months. That means a ton. Razor sharp picks, being a member since you were first able to, now 5 months. Wondering if you slap your own ass while watching NHL and wondering, how many likes for a shot. But Gogster has to work tonight, right? Gogster has to work tonight.
Yeah, fortunately, I'll be on the grind. But if there's a live cast Saturday nights or something like that, I'll definitely be there.
I love that. Vincent Ramirez, thank you guys so much for supporting us. First off, I disagree with the idea that the Leafs outplayed them 5-on-5. I mean, that's just for me. I mean, they were outscored 3-1 5-on-5. The first 2 goals Tampa Bay scored that completely took over the game were 5-on-5.
Yeah, I guess they expect a goal. So just they were weaker chance. Like the chances they shouldn't have went in. Like if Vasilevsky, obviously we know what he can do.
I get that, but I just the issue here is confidence, and I respect that you can sit back and be confident in Toronto and bet them on regulation. I respect that, and yes, this is set up for them to bounce back here, especially against with no Cernak and no Hedman, and look, it's set up for that. But when push comes to shove, is Samsonov going to make that save for you? I mean, it feels like we can throw out some of the analytics because on one end, you have the greatest goaltender of our generation and a team that's been in 3 straight Stanley Cup finals and also knows what it's like to be swept in the first round in 2018-19 after a spectacular season. Just a team that just has felt every single emotion on the ice against these perennial ass clowns. And look, you're right situationally, and I respect that you can do it, bet it. But I tell you what, I don't want my money on them. You know, look, Sheldon Keefe's going to take him to the promised land. I mean, look, he wasn't involved. He wasn't involved in the murder for hire on Frost, but he was Frost's protege. I don't know how you can be a protege of Frost and have a job in the NHL. You know, I don't trust this team at all. So but I respect anybody. Look, situationally, it's right for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if it's 1-0 Lightning off the top, I mean, are you going to be focused on your job tonight? Or are you going to be thinking about how the Leafs are going to screw you again?
No, if it's 3-0 Tampa Bay, I'm going to just turn it off. Yes, I'll turn it off. If it's 1-0, and I'm not too worried at 1-0, but no, you bring good points, Jim. You know, it's, you know, they haven't done it in a while, and we're playing the defending champs for the last 2 years. Obviously, Colorado won last year, but Nicholas Perbex, he's also been a player on defense. They've had up and down. He's a young player. He could be in also. I'm just looking at Hayden Fleury there, Jim, and he hasn't played. So he played April 13th. He's been up and down, but his plus minus here, you know, his plus minus is it's been a while since he's been in the plus. So I think it's a tough spot for some of these defensemen to come in, especially Bogosian and Fleury. This game, I do like them. You know, going to Tampa Bay, that's where Toronto's going to get tested. That's where this game is huge. If they lose this game, they know they're done. So yeah.
BJ, spectacular work, my friend. We have our guy Von Polo asking for the numbers here. 73% of the tickets, 81% of the cash on the Leafs.
Yeah.
So look, I get it. You know, I get it. I get why you're on at Leafs in regulation, Gogster. I understand the look, and I'm very interested in watching them play. Just for the sake of these, you know, they're not kids. These like grown men on the Leafs. You know, I hope that for their own lifetime, for everything that's going to go on involved in their life, I hope they win a game here, and I hope that they at least take this to 6 or 7 games, or you know,
if they win this, I see it 6-7. If they lose this, it could be done in 5.
Okay, Birdie, I will listen to it, my friend. Okay, so Gogster, Leafs in regulation at plus 100. You are locked in. We have Birdie's moved on Tampa minus 2.5 in this series.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the game.
No. So, all right. So let's roll. Dommy Guns only play this round was 2 units on the Rangers at minus 105. Cheshire Cat says he wants nothing else this year, just a Tampa Bay Lightning sweep. Okay, Gogster's on the Leafs in regulation at plus 100. And Gogster, we do want to know your looks for Friday. Now, you don't need to make anything official, but we're going to close on that here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Next up, East, first round, game 2. New York Rangers lead series 1-0. You know, we talk about listening. I kind of wanted to bet the Devils in game 1. And knowing that Spenny and DG were very confident on the Rangers, I stayed off, and thankfully so. We're at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Shesterkin is doing exactly what Vasilevsky did last year. You know, just an average 9-16 regular season, and now he's again looking spectacular. You know, so Vanacek 33-11-4, 2.45 goals against average, 9-11 save percentage. There's a reason why he was ditched by the Capitals, and it's because he couldn't step up in big games. He better do it here and better do it now. Rangers 24.1% power play in the regular season, 7th, 81.2% penalty killing, 13th, and they were not very strong in faceoffs. But you know, they were 49.1%, 19th overall. New Jersey Devils were just, you know, middling faceoff team, 51.3%. Devils 21.9% power play, 82.6% penalty killing. Stimmy OG is on the Devils. There's Sharpie in the house, 10-2 last 12 K props. We've got another one on the Balking Dead today. I love hearing that. Look, Slatsy said also placed his biggest bet on the Rangers in game 1 in Vegas. So, look, is this Devils team going to bounce back? I mean, this is very difficult on their young players. Look at the guys who stepped up for the Rangers. Look at Adam Fox, 4 assists. You know, look at Chris Kreider, scored 2 of the Rangers' 3 power play goals. The Rangers penalty kill held the Devils without a shot on goal in 4-man advantages. By the way, Kreider, all-time leader in playoff goals, 36, 2 more than Rod Gilbert's 34, and he also just passed Adam Graves for the most power play goals in the playoffs. This one's very difficult. I would prefer the Devils over the Leafs. Take it away for us here. Ulysses Hayes says, no, Rangers are in the zone. They'll go farthest here. God, I hope so. New Yorker says Rangers only plus 110. Says he doesn't like that. So let's just take a look. Thank you for mentioning that. Let's just take a look at the line history before we watch Gogster fly. And the Devils opened up minus 126. There's been an 8-cent move towards them. Total wise, it's opened up at 5.5. There's been a 4-cent move from that high, 5.5 minus 116 to the over. But there's only really been it's confusing. They've tightened up the VIG to 6 cents each way. They always open it up around 17. So it's pretty much where it opened. Take it away, Gogster, for us.
Yeah, man.
The Rangers versus the Devils.
Alrighty, guys. So hopefully the internet's all right, Jim. I saw a little complaint about the internet there. I don't know what's going on there. But Rangers, Devils, guys. Shesterkin and Vanacek. Vanacek, I don't think he could have looked as bad as he did there. Similar to Samsonov there. Or Samsonov, as they like to say. 0 for 4 in the power play. Did not know they hadn't hit a shot. There he is. I didn't know that they hadn't had a shot on net there, Jim, on the power play. That's very, very interesting. But yeah, this Rangers team is very tough to score on. But again, looking at the expected shots, 5-on-5, 1.37. The Rangers had throughout that whole 5-on-5. When they're on the power play, 2 for 3. Devils stay out of the box. I see this game being lower scoring. Penalty kills all season long for these teams, Jimmy, have been in the high 80s, which has been really solid. It's top 5 in the NHL. Both teams are healthy, Jim, 6-2-2. This is going to be a tight game. I saw overtime from one of the guys in the chat here. Who was it? It was our guy, Billy Friedrich, OT at plus 308. That's a very interesting look. I think this is going to be a very tight game. I don't know what to do in the first. I'm really torn here, Jim. I don't know if I want to do the under 1.5 or take the draw plus 175. I love taking that plus money, guys. We already got the Leafs plus 100. But the look I'm going to take here, Jim, for sure, is I'm going to take the Rangers team total under 2.5 here. I can see the Rangers even winning this game 2-1. Worst case scenario, it does get to 3. But I really see this being a tighter game. Vanacek's already been in the net. He's confirmed for tonight. We've seen either Vanacek's on or off. It's been clear all year. And I think this is going to be a bounce back spot for Vanacek. I know I'm kind of maybe going on a limb here, but they stay out of the box, Jim. That's where they got killed in the box. 5-on-5, New Jersey. It was a slightly better team. Both of these teams' expected goals were very, very low, very low. And you have 2 goalies that, in my opinion, are strong, especially Vanacek in a bounce back spot here. Give me the Rangers, guys. Team total under 2.5, minus 105. And in the first period here, Jim, I'm going to take the first period under 1.5 plus 100 because a lot of these games, guys, they've finished 1-0. It's been an early goal. So I'm not going to take the no goal in the first 10 because a lot of these times there's been a goal, like you said, Jim, in the first minute or first 10 minutes, and then it's just kind of steadied out. And I see this game being pretty low scoring. So I could see Devils 1-0 after the first. Worst case scenario, 1-0 Rangers, but we still hit that first period under. So I expect the Devils to get it done, but rather than take the minus 130, Jim, I'm taking the Rangers team total under 2.5 at minus 105 to get a little better number there. And the Devils can lose 2-1 too. So that's where I'm looking.
You are locked in. Razor Sharp Pick says Rangers winning it all this year. That would be 10.8K for me if they do that.
10.8K. Oh.
400 on them to win the conference at plus 900. 400 to win the cup at plus 1800. Now I am down at this point with my future bets, so it's not like I won't finish all my futures up over 10K, but let's not talk about that shit. Billy Friedrich says Dougie Hamilton's a sieve and a liability. Well, one thing that Dougie Hamilton can't do, and the reason why he's being passed around is because with all his height, he seems to not be able to push guys like Chris Kreider out of the front of the net. That's why he's being handed out to any team who wants to pay for him. Lou Chase thinks the over looks tempting. Birdie says, I still like betting overs in this series. He says, I continue to see lots of goals, just two really skilled teams. We know what's up with Vanacek immediately. And the Rangers are as confident a group as I think I've ever seen that hasn't won a cup. They're so confident. They've got all these veterans, and they're a dangerous group. They are a dangerous group. Okay, so Gogster is locked in, and great job, Gogster, because you locked in action on two games that I'm not in. So excellent work. Gogster's on the Leafs in regulation at plus 100, and he's on the Rangers team total under 2.5 minus 105 in the first period under 1.5 at plus 100. All right, let's get into
one more thing, Jim. Off the hop, I said like these home teams. I know they're desperate. I know desperate teams don't necessarily win, but like the Vanacek, it's like Samsonov guys. If Vanacek and Samsonov, they look pretty bad here, and it's another Ranger or Tampa Bay win. I'm expecting it to be 5 or 6 games max for those home teams, and they're going to be golfing. So big games for the Leafs and the Devils, all these home teams for that matter.
Without a doubt. Darren Turner is using Rangers plus 1.5 in his parlay. All right, let's get to the point where I get to start attacking. Excellent work, Gogster. We move on to 9:30 p.m. Eastern, the West first round game 2. Seattle leads the series 1-0. So I don't know how you guys cap playoffs NHL, but I'm always a game ahead, and so I'd make my bets pretty much right after the game for the following game, just to make sure. I mean, the lines, you don't beat them by that much in the playoffs, but I still do, and I know exactly how I want to bet this series and how I'm attacking tonight. We're in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Look, Philip Grubauer is taking it to his old team, and I don't know why he's been so bad these last couple of years in Seattle. I can't explain that, but he's got confidence right now. I'm interested to see how he does. Going up against Alexander Georgiev, who did not look good in that first round. The one thing to look for with Seattle is, and obviously the time to attack, it's over unless they can move on. But Seattle is the second worst team in the National Hockey League at the face-off circle. They're bad, 45.3%. And it's a spot that Colorado just can't take advantage of. So we saw them play the Vegas Knights in 2 games at the end of the year. Now, they weren't that important for Seattle. They were very important for Vegas. Vegas is the 7th best team in the league on face-offs, and they dominated the face-off circle. They were in complete control. They had the possession each play. They just were in complete control of the game. So here, the Avalanche are 26th in the league in face-offs. They can't win face-offs. They're 46.7% face-offs. So brutal. Colorado can't take advantage of one of the Seattle Kraken's biggest weakness. What's their second biggest weakness if you watch them all year, Seattle? Well, it's penalty killing. 21st in the league, 76.7%. That's where Colorado can take advantage of them. And I think they will here tonight on the power play. Seattle's power play, 21st in the league, 19.8%. Their special teams weren't that great. Let's go over line history, and then I'll tell you how I've bet this and my plan, and I cannot wait to watch this hockey game. This opened up with the Avalanche minus 196. They're now minus 223. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 6, minus 116 to the under. It's now minus 112 to the under, so it's still juiced to the under.
I disagree.
So Kraken, let's just set up what happened. Kraken won game 1 3-1. They out hit Colorado 40-29. McKinnon was extremely upset after the hockey game. Grubauer was sharp all night. The Avalanche had won 10 straight first-round games. The Kraken took a 2-1 lead into the third. They've been so good protecting leads, and they were so good again. Getting the puck in deep. That play to Geeky was spectacular for the 3-1 goal. They're a well-coached hockey team. Jack Johnson was a late scratch, and Eric Johnson came in. Andrew Cogliano was a scratch, and Josh Manson looked bad. It was his first game since March 1st, and he looked bad. He's going to look better tonight.
Yes.
In saying that, I'm right with Imp 13. So the first thing I did right away was I bet the Seattle Colorado over 6. I think Seattle can score a couple goals here, and Colorado is going to be – everything will be at the net. They're going to play at the fastest speed they can possibly play at, first off. Then I moved on the Avs full game minus 1.5 at plus 120. Now, that took a little longer. That took me – I forget when I bet it. Last night, I think. Maybe it was this – I can't remember. But that took 24 hours to get there. And then I was like, well, I got to take the first period minus a half at plus 140. I have to. They're going to be going. The crowd's going to be going bananas. You have McKinnon so angry with the group. This first period, if Seattle can hold them off in the first period, then Seattle has a real good chance. So I've tripled up here. I've got Avs first period minus a half plus 140. I've got Avs full game on the puck line plus 120, and I've got the over 6 at plus 100. And I want them to win big. And then I want to bet Seattle in both games 3 and 4 in Seattle. But I need a plus line. I need the risk and reward to be right. But that's my plan. I want the Avs to win big here. And then I want Seattle in Seattle. Gogster, take it away. The floor is yours.
Wow, great breakdown, Jim. And how you're talking about Colorado is exactly how I feel about Toronto tonight. And I'm almost tempted to take Toronto in the first period because just like you said, if Seattle's Tampa Bay ties this after the first, if it's 0-0 going into the first, I don't think that's good for Toronto. But looking at this game here, Colorado-Seattle, the over is where I'm going to look here, Jim. You're talking about also Seattle. What Colorado needs to do is they need to hold just more possession. They need to keep Seattle off the puck because when Seattle has the puck, they're one of the fastest teams along with Colorado. Like both of these teams are really, really quick. And surprisingly all year too, even dating back to last year, Jim, unders 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 3-2, 3-1. And Seattle's won 4 of the 5 as well. So Seattle's actually had this team's number. Not a good team for Colorado to play. But going forward, just like you said, how they're going to throw everything at Grubauer. That's exactly what I think Toronto's going to do to Vasilevsky. I don't keep going back to that, but I'm just fired up for that game. Colorado, Seattle, though, Jim. Like you said, Seattle can score. They're health-wise, they're fine. There's no big players out. Burakovsky's out. Could be back, I see, or April 30th. Power play for Seattle could be a little bit better. 0 for 3, 0 for 2. Both teams didn't get many calls. It was a pretty 5-on-5 hockey game. And expected goals were the highest of all 4 games here, guys. This is where we had the highest expected. So that just tells me the goalies are going to be tested. Despite seeing 5 unders in their last 5 games, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I really do. And I actually took, Jim, I took the over 5.5. It's still available, minus 128. A little safe, as Mr. Loshak likes to say, but I'm taking the over 5.5, minus 128 here, guys. And then I'm empty netter 2-4-2. At worst. And I'm taking the first period, both teams to score. A juicy plus 192. Seattle, this happened earlier on, just a lot in the regular season, guys. This team loves to score, come up quick early, just like Colorado. And if Colorado's going to be, throwing everything, which I expect them to do, Seattle's quick on the offense as well. Like they can, it's going to be a back and forth hockey game here, Jim. Maybe an alternative over. It could even be in play, but I'm going to take it to safe here, over 5.5, minus 128. And then both teams will light the lamp in the first at plus 192.
I like it. We can be wrong about things. And I was wrong on the over in game 1. And on the totals so far to start the playoffs that I've been wrong on, I've gone right back to the well. So I was wrong on the Hurricanes Islanders total last night. I've gone right back to the under 5. And we will see. Brady says Avs are banged up and not sure Avs will be desperate enough to win tonight. Did you see McKinnon after the game?
I didn't see him, no.
Oh, he was so angry. They also asked him what he thought about Grubauer. He said nothing.
No,
That's what he thought about Grubauer. Look, we will see, and that's the fun of this.
So what, like you said, Colorado, if they don't come out, with at least the lead, like 1-1, I could even see a 2-1 Colorado after the first. That's what we've come to expect from Colorado. Their offense is a little bit weaker than it's been, but
well, they don't have Gabe, so their toughness, their everything, they're
exactly, their captain,
they're intangibles. So I'm with you. But if Seattle can hold them off that first 10 minutes, Seattle's going to be so dangerous. But we'll see. We will see. And then I want to back at plus lines the Kraken at home in games 3 and games 4. And I'll only get the real plus lines I'm looking for if the Avs put a beat down tonight. All right, we are in business. We have an Avs Vegas moneyline parlay for Slatsy at plus 139. And not only that, for this Winnipeg Jets Vegas Golden Knights spot, we have BJ parlaying the Golden Knights money line and the Golden State Warriors money line after his big score with the Grizzlies last night. Let's go. West first round game 2. Winnipeg leads the series 1-0. T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. The Jets have veterans and veteran between the pipes. But the fact that the Knights were outshot 14-2 in the first period, that they got 17 shots on goal, their lowest all year, I was just appalled. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Like, I just for the life of me, I was like, after cheering for them to lose for all these games when the Oilers were so, on their big run to win the division, I just couldn't believe that this is what the Jets would do. Ron Crawford, by the way, the Knights would do. Ron Crawford dropping the Avs in regulation as his NHL spreadsheet play of the day. But let's talk more about this spot. And I'm doing the exact same thing I'm doing in the Avalanche game.
They are.
The exact same thing. I got the over 5.5 at -115, and I got the full game -1 at +108. So I beat that market move because with the +108, that was a money line of -150. I did see -170s. Right now it's at -158. So -144 to -158. But that was bet online. Pinnacle's never gone further than -160. But 14-cent move towards the Knights. Then from a total perspective, God, please tell me it's going to the over. It's not. We have a 3-4 cent move to the under. I don't care. And this is why I don't care. Look, Hellebuck could completely control this whole series. He's capable of that. But Winnipeg dominated game 1. They're not a good face-off winning team. The Knights are a great face-off winning team, 7th compared to 21st. Both power plays were below average this year, and Winnipeg's penalty killing was quite good, 7th in the league, whereas the Knights, wasn't that good. The Jets win 5-1. Pierre-Luc Dubois looked very good. Kyle Connor scored. Niederreiter's been a great fit here. Hellebuck only had to make 16 saves. It was the first regulation loss in 9 games. It was the first regulation loss this year for Brisbois. Winnipeg 6-2 in their past 8 games. Morgan Barron took 75 stitches to his face, and he came right back to the bench. 75 stitches. And when somebody does that, you win the game for them.
You gotta tell him how it happened too, Jim. The Laurent Brossois escape blade guy was angled like that and got him like just near the eye, just cut him real good. And it was pretty bad, but threw a cage on him, threw 75 stitches, and you're back out there. That's hockey. Playoff.
North Ender saying Jets are the 2021 Habs. That could be. And we've seen the Jets, this core, succeed. Pulling the captain off of Wheeler's chest and bonus, and Paul Maurice like not believing in this group. I just don't see it happening personally. I don't see it happen.
I hate Maurice.
So they won without Ehlers. That's very impressive. Ehlers thinks he's good to go. So he's a little pissed off that he wasn't in the lineup. I don't know what's going to happen. Mark Stone was terrible, -3 in 21 minutes. He's going to be better. He's going to be much better. And I just think the Knights are going to be much better. So I'm on the Vegas Knights first period -0.5 at +165. I'm on the Vegas Knights -1 at +108. And I'm on the Winnipeg Vegas over 5.5 -115. Take it away, Mr. Gogster.
All right, yeah, this is going to be a really good game. Ehlers remains day-to-day just from last night. Barron's going to be in a little swellness, but on the face, but he's good to go. And then Pionk and Studland, they had a little maintenance, but they're going to be good to go for this game too. Just hearing your breakdown, Jim, it sounds like an under. The only way it's not going to be an under, in my opinion, would be just Hellebuck looks. If Hellebuck has a bad game here, then yeah, this Vegas team could win pretty comfortably. I wouldn't say comfortably, but it's just on the other end, Jim. It's just Brisbois. I know he's actually looked pretty good in his games he's been in, but in the playoffs, like this guy actually used to play for Winnipeg. If I'm not wrong, he used to play for Winnipeg. Laurent Brisbois. He was on this team
for 3 years,
yeah.
And then from 2018 to 2021, and he was the backup when Hellebuck won the Vezina.
Exactly. So that their format, and that, in my opinion, I think Winnipeg, they got 5 on them, right? Like it's This is a tough game. I had unders written down, but I crossed them out here. The expected goals, I know I keep going back to them, but it's just what I do here in the playoffs. They were very low for both teams. But when they're on the power play, that's when they were a little bit higher, despite them being 0-3 to Vegas, 1-3 for Winnipeg. I do think this is a lower scoring game, but this is going to be probably a live bet for me, Jim. I want to see if Ehlers is in. I think that's important to see if Ehlers is in. Perfetti, he's been out. Carrier, Thompson, still game time decisions. The penalty kill, too, for Vegas has not been good, too, leading up. Power plays are pretty weak, like you said, for both teams. This is a really tough cap, in my opinion, this game, Jim. Vegas do need it, but I think I think Hellebuck could steal this game. I really do. I really do. I'm going to stay off it, but I wouldn't talk anybody off Winnipeg.
I don't think Winnipeg's that good.
I think I feel like the under could be in play here. I know the coaches too, looking at all these coaches are, in my opinion, playoff coaches.
If the under's in play, then the Jets are going to win again.
And that's how I see this game going. And that's what I said. If it goes over, then it's a Vegas win.
Yeah. Game twos are so easy for us to succeed in because of the game one overemphasis on the result. And that's all I think is happening here. That's it. There's just the Knights were absolutely atrocious. The Jets were ready to go. The Jets won 5-1. And now we get a great line.
Bad in that first period, Jim. They
14
were
14-2 they were outside. It was I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Can't get any worse than that first period. So we'll be able to tell, I think, after the first period again. Like if they get up to, I don't know. I got to see what Brisebois can do here. I want to see Brisebois hold this team to 2 goals. If he can hold Winnipeg to 2 goals, then okay, I feel good about Vegas here. But it's just I got to see Brisebois do it here.
I'm very excited. Bankroll Spence also liking the under with you, Gogster. But Gogster, nothing official for you in this one.
Nothing. I had the unders written down, but that's where I would be looking, would be unders in Winnipeg, but it's not going to make my card.
Gogster, let's just touch on what is about to happen on Friday. Sure. And you can make anything official here before we move on to MLB. But here we go. So I've already moved on the under 5 at the exact same price in that Hurricanes Islanders game that I got. It was plus 117. I moved on the Bruins on the -1 line. I got, I believe, plus 106. I'm expecting Bergeron to be back, and I could be wrong. But I'm happy that the Bruins are dealing with a little adversity. And the Panthers are much better with Sam Bennett in the lineup. But I think Grizzle, there was a lot of bad giveaways. I think Grizzle could be back in the lineup for the Bruins. And I'm praying that Bergeron will be right beside him. We'll see. Then I moved again on the under 5.5 in Stars Wild. I got -120. I moved again. Now, yesterday when I bet that, I ended up taking the 5 just because the 5.5 had moved to -130. And I was like, come on, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So I've moved on that. Those are my 3 moves. Is there anything you want to touch on or make official for Friday's action?
Just looking over this card tomorrow, game 3s. Tough. I would look to more unders, to be honest, in these game 3s. The Dallas, Minnesota there's a big question mark there with Minnesota guys. I would have started Gustafsson. I know a lot of people are saying that. I personally would have too, because now you had Fleury had a bad game. Now you got to go back to Gustafsson. What if Gusty has a bad game now? Now what are you going to do? You're going to throw Fleury back in there? So it's a lot's on Gusty's shoulders now in this game. Leaned to the under. Kind of leaned it to that's going to be a tough one. I think that game could even be in overtime. Expect that to be a real tight game. Dallas, Minnesota, Edmonton, LA, Jim. Another game. LA, they've been putting it to Edmonton this whole series. I've been watching a lot of this series, and Edmonton worries me closing the door, Jim. They really do. They worry me a bit. And Stuart Skinner's got a lot on his shoulders right now. LA Kings could be live there in that late game because they got Velarde back too. You saw Gabe Velarde's goal too. If you guys saw that nasty goal, just flew the left-hand side there, rushed in, blocked off the defenseman, went backhand forehand, he's a lefty, so went backhand and back to the forehand, and just beautiful goal on Skinner. They also have back, I believe Fiala should be back. I lean to the over.
Fiala, though. Fiala's been out for a long time.
Yeah,
but just like Bennett came back, so no, there, but I
would expect him to come back at some point.
Yeah, I hope so for the Kings' behalf.
I would lean to the over. Sorry, Jim, Edmonton, and whatever the number is there. I would lean to the LA Kings, Edmonton over, Minnesota, Dallas under, Carolina and the Islanders. That's going to be another battle, real battle. But again, Carolina's goalie on the road here. Who's it going to be? Anderson, or are they going to be going to Ranta again? So I would expect Ranta. So yeah, it's I would lean to the Islanders actually in that game 3. I would.
I just don't think the risk reward's enough for the Islanders, but yeah, I'd lean there as well. I'm close to going back to the under 6.5 in Edmonton, LA. I think those 6.5s are an absolute beauty. I said yesterday on the show, I was like, don't take the first period under because it could be 2-0 Edmonton and we could still cash the under 6.5, and that is what exactly happened. So I don't think these should be 6.5s. They shouldn't be 6.5s. They shouldn't be. So, but I haven't moved. That would be my loan addition for tomorrow. But we'll talk all about it tomorrow. So you're going to make nothing official for the Friday card?
You're a little choppy right now, Jim. Just a heads up. Okay. I don't know if Jose notices that, but I'm gonna have nothing quite yet. But check me out, guys, on Twitter. Ego47 just below there. I'm leaning towards the Islanders for this game 3. I think Stuart Skinner's got a lot on his shoulders. I lean to the Kings there, and also Dallas in the under in the Minnesota-Dallas game.
Okay, my friend. If you want to make anything official for Friday's action, because we've discussed those games, let me know.
I'll at you, bro. I'll tweet at you as well, Jim, at Pub Sports Radio, guys. I also have a golf show. We got Tom Hoagie, guys. We're going to be right back at it next week. Mexican Open, Vidanta at Vallarta. 1 p.m. Eastern, myself and Connor Mack, guys. We give out outright picks. We've been pretty damn hot. Connor actually especially came off a nice winner last week with his outright pick. So check us out, guys. Ego47_ myself. Jimmy, thank you so much. Best of luck, brother, with your action. Everyone in the chat. Playoffs are here. Leafs are going to take care of business. If they don't, then pray for me. Maybe shoot me a message because I'll be maybe looking for the closest bridge. So yeah.
Love it, Gogster. Let's review his action. He's on the Leafs in regulation at plus 100. He's on the Rangers team total under 2.5 minus 105. First period under 1.5 plus 100. Then he's on the over 5.5 in Seattle, Colorado at minus 128 in first period. Both teams score plus 192. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet, NHL play of the day's Colorado regulation. I'm on the Avs first period minus 0.5 at plus 140. The Avs full game minus 1.5 at plus 120. And Seattle, Colorado over 6 at plus 100. And then on the Knights game, I'm on the first period minus 0.5 at plus 165. Full game minus 1 at plus 108. And the Winnipeg Vegas over 5.5 at minus 115. There we go. What a fun night of NHL. I love first round, man. It's really, really, really fun. All right, let's move on to MLB. It was a frustrating day yesterday. I really thought Spencer Turnbull was going to pitch well, and I didn't get paid for it. Tigers first 3 was a push, and Tigers first 5 was a push. Cardinals first 5 minus half was a casher. Pirates first 5 minus half was a casher. Those were both pretty comfortable cashers, but lost to Philly. Chicago White Sox first 5 under 4.5. Would have cashed it if I went full game. And the Dodgers plus 115. That lineup can look really soft at times. And it looked soft last night. So 2-2 minus 0.15 units. Not good. And we need winners desperately. Let's see if we can get them here with the great cappers in the chat. Let's bring on your Thursday star of MLB. He's the host of Say Hey Plays of the Day, and he's ready to get to work right here. Justin McElvey already moving on. Devers over 1.5 bases, minus 113. We have 1 o'clock game. That will be a lot of fun. Help us get through the day. Let's see if we have action on it. Please welcome to the show, Jose Bouquett. Jose, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. We're battling the good fight. We're doing all that. It'll be interesting. Jimmy, by the way, don't worry. It was Gogster's internet fucking up, not us. So we're all good in the hood, thankfully. But yeah, it's been a trials and tribulations so far, but we're going to get through it. And it's going to be nice on the other side of it. So I can't wait.
Yeah. I just think what we should do, Jose, is, we've seen you succeed on a huge sample size. So we've seen it happen. and sometimes you get slapped in the face in capping. That's just capping. So today is 420. It's a special day for you as a
Wow.
non-smoker. So let's start from 420 on. I'm going to start tracking you just from 420 on. Let's have you. You're at 0 units. Let's have a winning day today, and let's start stacking winning days. 420 on.
Did you celebrate?
No, I can't.
You're sharp as an arrow.
I just can't. I can't. I can't speak the way I'd like to if I'm lit. So I just don't. I don't ever smoke before shows ever. Okay, let's get to work here right now and attack this board. I have moved on 3 bets, and I almost added to them, and I almost added in those actual games. Sharpie says today is Tatis Day in San Diego. It is also that. Let's get to work here. We start at 1:35 p.m. Eastern. This is a game that I did not move on. The Minnesota Twins, 11-7, 7-5 on the road. The Boston Red Sox, 9-10, 6-6 at home. Fenway Park in Boston. Let's go to the weather first. I'm going to refresh the weather just because this has been up for hours and hours. Let's refresh this and hammer. Okay, here we go. 56 Fahrenheit in Boston, 9.3 miles per hour right field. Stays between 9.3 and 9.1. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. I like this game. I think there's ways to make money on this game. I saw that Dommy Gunn is on the Red Sox in this one. Let's take a look at the line history here. This opened up with the Red Sox minus 117. They're now minus 118. So it's just a 1 cent move towards them. Totals wise, this opened up at 9 at minus 107. It got to 9.5 for a little bit. It was at 9.5 for 11 minutes from 10:05 a.m. to 10:16. It came right back to 9. So that is that. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. Move over here, get to MLB, and let's see the cash. Here we go, all markets. So money line here, 41% of the tickets and 45% of the cash are on the Red Sox. Totals wise, 69% of the tickets and 81% cash on the over. Now we see a similar situation in the Cubs game, Cubs Dodgers, which I want to go on the over. We saw it, both of these spots, as soon as it went up a half run, it dropped immediately. And then I just wanted to talk it out with you guys before I made a move on it. We have Rick J leaning to the first 5, to the over 5, first 5. Kenta Maeda versus Tanner Houck. Maeda has had 2 starts this year. The first one was at Miami. The second one was at home versus the White Sox. At Miami, he looked very good. First start of the year, 9 Ks, 3 walks, and 5 innings. He had 1 earned run allowed. It was a solo shot. Then he came home and faced the White Sox, and he got touched up a bit. 4 earned runs and 6 innings, 8 hits. 1 homer, 3 Ks, no walks. Tanner Houck's last start was, it was against Sandoval. I tripled up on the game, and I cashed the full game under, but I would have cashed the Angels in the first 5 was a push for me because of the air by Rendon, that ass clown. Houck did what I thought he would do. He was good enough. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 4 walks. The Twins aren't hitting righties, 232, 683 OPS. The Red Sox aren't hitting righties, 233, 713 OPS. And both bullpens have been very good. Take it away for us, Jose. Twinkies, Red Sox.
All right, so I have had 4 people, 4 separate people, 4 people that don't know each other, all text me today, Red Sox are the play. I didn't have a bet going into this game. I've cut down some of my splits to potentially get a better idea on hitting as well. But right now, both these teams aren't particularly hitting. From the 9th to the 20th is when I cut down my splits. So a little like a week and a half, essentially. And I also have the full season numbers. But right now, the Red Sox are 28th against righties, 66 weighted runs created plus, while the Twins are 23rd, 83 weighted runs created plus there. So I just can't trust both these offenses right now. That's maybe why I would lean under it, and maybe why that total, you said jumped up a half run, then went shot back down. Maybe that's the reason why. Tanner Houck is a guy I didn't have faith coming into this season because he just had such a shitty spring command-wise. And if it was like velocity and he started pitching better that way, I would be more like, oh, spring training doesn't matter. But the fact that he just got his command together was shocking. So, I mean, obviously, as Razor, I'm sure, is saying in the chat, I would take the Red Sox here. But I don't know if I'm going to make it official.
I certainly feel like it's the Red Sox or no bet. And everything's kind of pointing in that direction. I can't take the under if the big bets are on the over, but I get what we're all seeing with these two teams not hitting. I feel like it's sort of a coin flip here with Maeda and Houck. I can understand the look on the Red Sox, but I just feel like it's a little too much of a coin flip. Let's hear what the chat has to say. It says 6-15 under spot getaway day for the Red Sox from Mike M. Nasty Nate says Red Sox smash. Tongue Tied says Maeda coming off arm fatigue is concerning, but that Twins bullpen has been gas. Hunter Englehart's on the Twins team total over 4.5 at plus 105, and he's on the Twins first half money line. Rick J likes the Sox pitcher more, and Houck says Twins have the better bats. Vitalis says Red Sox play the Angles. Maeda will not have the endurance. He's been pulled last game. Sharps believe Maeda will leave early. Dami Gunrichi coming off a 6-0 day. Danielson says Houck loses this game or doesn't do well, he will get replaced by Bayo when he comes back. So Houck playing for his starting job.
I think either way he goes, he gets sent back to the bullpen. So maybe it's one of those carefree angles. I don't know.
I don't really want to be involved here. Sharpie says he's got to expect Maeda to go 5 innings today. When the Twinkies have babied their guys, they pull them at 5. Happened to Lopez and Gray this year. JPZ Red Sox and the over parlayed and says cashing at work will be lovely. And Hunter says coin flip for sure. Take the plus money and a coin flip every time. So I don't want to be involved because I'm pretty confident in my other spots.
I'm going to get involved. Shockingly enough, I'll take the Red Sox -1 plus 113.
Red Sox -1 plus 113 for Jose Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet. That is the first bet of the turning point in your season. 420 and your Boston Red Sox.
So yeah, I mean, some people would say this is the turning point in my life.
If you lose this, no, I won't say that.
No, I mean, I'll just be in a bad mood. I'm going to a party tonight, Jim. Here's your fun fact of the day. I'm going to try to socialize with strangers today. Another fun fact, we also have the playback tonight as well, so go watch that. I will be, me and Dabby Cab will be getting loaded, obviously. Then I have a party right after. We'll be watching Dodgers Cubs, which we'll talk about here shortly. But I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
Well, I didn't find your fun fact about the party enjoyable at all.
No, well, sorry. Turning point in my life. Yeah, maybe, who knows? I win this bet. Maybe I find a new friend out there in the world. Who knows, Jim? Maybe this might be it. Maybe this bet gives me the confidence to succeed in life.
We're your only friends, Jose. Stay inside and find winners, okay?
You're right. When you're
all right, let's get to work here. 6:35 p.m. Eastern. The Cincinnati Reds 7-11, 1-5 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates. 12-7, 3-3 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's go to the weather here. 81 Fahrenheit at first pitch. 11.5 miles per hour, right to left to the left field pole. By the after 2 hours, it's just completely right to left. There's no movement whatsoever. This is an interesting one with Luke Weaver here. So we saw what happened when the Cardinals left Colorado. They were raking in Colorado, and then they couldn't score a run against Vince Velasquez. And Sharpie talked to us about that, and then he got us off of.
Got you off.
He got me off of that spot. So what's going to happen here with the Pirates in a similar situation? We'll start with the weather. As I said, 81 Fahrenheit, 11.5 right to left, and down to 7.3. When we get to the line history here in this one, we have the Buccos open up -143. They're now -157. So a 14-cent move towards them. We saw, I'd like to pull up the market on that game. I'm going to do that when you're discussing. So I would like to look at the market on that first game back with the Cards here. Total wise, it's opened up at 8.5, and it's now at 9. 8.5 now at 9. Sorry, I did skip the Yankees Angels game. My bad.
I figured it was next, so no worries.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. We'll go right back to that. My bad. Sorry. So we'll go right back to that. So let's go over to the cash flow here for this one. And my apologies for skipping the game. 79% of the tickets, 83% of the cash on the Pirates. And then we have a 79% of tickets, but just 51% of cash on the over. So bigger bets have come in on the over, but they did move it from 8.5 to 9. So there we go. Luke Weaver, he's not been a starting pitcher since 2021.
Yeah, a cup of tea with the Royals last year as reliever. Got one start and wasn't great.
I have him as 0 games started in 2022.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
I might have saw it wrong then, so even better. Yeah, I why would I trust a guy that couldn't get starts for the Royals? I mean, I guess the Royals starting rotation's okay, but
thank you, Sharpie. Thank you, buddy. So this is I was sitting with this here. We watched the Cards not hit leaving Colorado. So what are the Pirates going to do? Secondly, you have a pitcher pitching for his job. He's getting a chance to start for the first time in a long time. And these older pitchers who have had a taste of success, now they're getting a chance. And then you go up against Rowan C. Contreras, who we all believe in. He had a tough start to the year, and then he looked very good in the 6-3 win of the Cards last out. There's so many moving parts in this game that I just find it extremely difficult to cap. I can't think of a more difficult situation here. But we've heard that Dana Delpa's on the Reds. We hear Gifted Cartel's on the Reds. We heard Domi Gunricci's on the Reds. We have a Gifted Cartel on the Reds and the over. Dolo in the house. Great to see. We got Rez Mob, Chip Plyler, Lucky Lefty, Jeffrey Stazowski, C. Bling. Take it away for us because I have not been much help here. And I find this game very difficult.
Yeah, I'm not going to be either, unfortunately, because, I learned my lesson. I learned my lessons by losing money doing it. And I made that Cardinals bet against the Pirates. The Pirates just left Coors yesterday. They're going home today. And I don't want to bet them. I want to bet on them. Anything, honestly, and shout out to Mike M. He's on an over trend here. He's saying Reds off a back-to-back home shutouts going on the road, 13-6 to the over spot there. I lean towards the under, honestly, so that's why I'm completely off this game. I think Rowancy can pitch well, and a tough start to the year. Unfortunately for him, he just ran up to an Astros team that was just feeling themselves that day, I guess. He gave up 7 earned runs. The rest of his starts have been good. 2 earned runs against the Cardinals last time, like you mentioned. 1 earned run against the Red Sox at the Red Sox. So I think he can pitch well here. If anything, I'd be on like a first 5 under or something like that. But that's why I pass on this game. There's just too many things that going against, what I think on this game, and ultimately try and keep a little bit of the volume a little lower. So pass here, but I'll be interested to see how Luke Weaver does because he had 2 decent starts in the minors this year, or I should say 1 decent one, 1 good one. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs off a home run, 5 Ks. I believe it was only 1 walk there, and then his last start, or I think it was his first start. I don't remember which order I wrote this in. 4 innings, no hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks. So I'm impressed by him this year. We'll see how he goes in the majors, obviously. But yeah, I ended up passing on it.
By the way, last week, the Cardinals opened up. It was a week ago on a Thursday. Their first game against Pittsburgh, they opened up at minus 215. They got to minus 263. So it was a huge move on the Cards. And the total opened up at 8, and it went to 8.5. So I wonder what Sharpie's doing on this game. Kevin K is on the. Oh no, he's saying Pirates minus 170 as a favorite is a complete joke. I get that. Hunter Engelhardt says the Pirates team is hitting 300 as a team from inning 1 through 7, which is incredible. Also ranked 3rd in runs, first 5 innings, 3.68. Alfred says I couldn't bet Reds today. Pirates have been a legit good team this year, and I don't want to be involved in this game.
Yeah, I would be on the Pirates if it wasn't for the fact that they left Coors yesterday and all that
Definitely.
stuff. I again, like I said, I learned my lesson. No thanks. I'm not going to be betting on teams the game right after, the next day after they leave Coors. Maybe the next game. Who knows if it's a day of rest after that helps them or not. But this is like straight after. So
Only knows it's hard to trust Weaver. He signed a 1-year deal for $2 million. Look, we talk about how there are no fairy tales in Shawshank. I'm not going to sit here and expect Luke Weaver to find a career again, find a starting job in Major League Baseball. So, look, I don't want to be involved in this one.
Yeah, I don't think the sisters get to Luke Weaver today, though. I think he can have a decent start.
Let's just go back very quickly to the line movement in this one. Are we seeing all the sharps in the chat are all on the Reds, but we've still seen a 14-cent move to the Buccos. If you want the Reds, I would wait.
Well, I have some breaking news for us, unfortunately. It's a sad one, too. Madison Bumgarner DFA'd.
Oh, my gosh.
Light the torches.
No, he'll get picked up. He'll be a Kansas City Royal or a Pittsburgh Pirate.
Ah, man, he's kind of a dick. I don't know.
Be a Cincinnati Red. He got DFA'd?
DFA'd.
Wow.
Light the torches, man. Wilson Contreras, man. That's what you get. Shut the fuck up, you pussy. Fucking crushed that inning, too. That was great.
Oh, wow. Hunter and Billy think that he'll get signed by the White Sox. Oh, that's funny.
Jesus, that was so quick that both of them said the fucking White Sox. That's so funny. Yeah, that's exactly what that team needs. You got Clevenger, who allegedly does beatings of females or whoever, and then fucking now we got Madison Bumgarner, aka Mason Saunders. This is gonna be great.
I apologize for skipping the Angels-Yankees game. Let's go back there. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. This is a double-up spot for me, and it was almost more. I bet these last night. What I've been noticing is some of the spots where I'm like pretty certain the market's going to go in that direction. It does end up going in that direction. So I'd like to start taking more swings the night before. Obviously, I'll track them and see if it's successful. I moved on 3 bets last night. These are 2 of them. Angels, Yankees, Yankee Stadium, the Bronx, New York. I look at every stat here, every single thing in this game. These 2 left-handed pitchers, I like them both. The bullpen numbers, they've both been good. Where is the one dichotomy on this whole game? And it's the Angels versus lefties versus the Yankees versus lefties. That's the one spot where I know I have an advantage at this point in the season. Now, that can change, obviously, but the Yankees are dealing with some injuries. So right now, the biggest difference between these 2 teams is the Angels are hitting .304 with an .895 OPS versus lefties, and the Yankees are hitting a .194 with a .621 OPS. And then secondly, Nestor Cortez is a really good pitcher. So, but that Sandoval also very good, and the Yankees are hitting lefties. So, Sharpie moved on the Angels first 5 plus a half at -110. Now it's -134. I moved on the Angels first 5 at +120. I'm going to take the plus line here, and I also moved on the first 5 under 4.5 at -115. Let's take a look at the weather here. Angels, Yankees, 62 Fahrenheit, 9.5 miles per hour right to left, between 9.5 and 8.5. Let's go over to the line history here in this one. We have the Yankees opening up -151. They're now -145. So if we take a look at the first 5, I'd be curious because I got my action on the first 5. They're not showing me at Pinnacle. But let's go to Bet Online. First 5 for the Angels, no movement there. There was 5 cents of movement. They didn't come out till 7:21 in the morning. So, not a lot of movement here on the spot that I'm attacking. There's been a 10-cent move to the Angels at Bet Online full game. Get back to Pinnacle here. And then let's take a look at the cash flow. And I haven't looked at the cash flow this morning, so I don't know what it's going to tell us, but 40% of the tickets and 72% of the cash are on the Angels. And this was almost a double up spot on both. But look at this, 25% of the tickets and 46% of the cash are on the over. So Sharpie says that he is with me, says the wrong team was favored. I don't think anything wrong with getting a first 5 plus a half. If you think the first 5 is going to go under and you're getting minus 110 or better, I think it's a great move. I think that was a great move, Sharpie. So I don't think because I think this first 5 is going to go under 4.5. So look, we didn't touch enough on the pitchers. Nestor Cortez coming off 7 innings, 4-3 loss at home versus Minnesota. He's just quality. He's just trustworthy. 2.60 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 15 Ks, 2 walks. He's a really good pitcher. Patrick Sandoval got unlucky with that Rendon error. 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, none of which were earned. 6 Ks, 3 walks, and that 5-3 loss at Boston. I believe in both these pitchers. I can't wait to watch this game. Take it away for us, Jose. Angels, Yankees.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm in good company. I'm on the Angels as well. I'm on Angels first 5 money line with you there. I'm getting a shittier line, but thankfully we can line shop because I didn't twin any of these out. And I'm also on Angels team total over 3.5 as well. Excuse me. Angels against lefties. This is kind of simple. I don't know. Angels against lefties this year. 151 weighted runs created plus. Last week and a half, 168 weighted runs created plus. That's third and second over those times. I just think they get to Nestor Cortez here today. And whether it's 2-3 runs, I just think they win the first 5. Patrick Sandoval's been one of my guys. I said he was going to make the jump this year. And I think he has. So, I'll be watching him. And you were right about the Anthony Rendon thing. I was right there with you on that as well. That really grinded my gears. But we'll see how he goes. Nestor, by the way, looking at his last 3 starts, total in those starts 7.5, 8.5, and over all the overs with the 7.5s went under for the 8.5. So they just fuck it, we'll stick it at 8 and see what we do here. So I guess I lean towards the under, but I just lean towards the under based on obviously both these pitchers are very good, but I do think the Angels can get to lefties here, and hopefully this lefty.
Can you remind me of your exact action? Did you tweet anything out, or is this line shopping?
No, we can line shop here. First 5 money line. I'm probably going to bet plus 115. I have to check on Bet Online. And then I have to bet a team total over 3.5 there as well. I got minus 110.
Okay, so first 5 money line to get you started. 125 at 5 dimes. Bet Chris and Bookmaker.
Figures.
So and Will Hill and Bet Online. I Bet Online 125. They're not right now.
I looked up Bovada. I hadn't looked at Bet Online.
Okay, well, a bunch of books are at 125, so we'll get you started there. You're getting a better line than what I bet. Plus 125 on the Angels first 5. I'd like to see what it is right now for me, actually, just very quickly to see if I could have waited or something here. We have, I don't think it's changed here. Sorry, it's no, it's 5 cents worse. God damn, it's at plus 125 too. Okay, and then you want the Angels team total over. You got, what did you get, Jose?
3.5 minus 110.
3.5 minus 110. Let's just see if we can beat that at Pinnacle here quickly. We have,
while you do that, shout out to Caden, who is the senior golf captain on his golf team.
I read that. That's
captain of his golf team, and the senior captain is pissed. Fuck him. Shout out to Caden.
I love that. That's great. Caden's a great kid, man. Over 3.5 minus 110. That is better than what I can get you. There's Jacqueline in the house. Great group here. Bo Jackson, Mark Campbell.
Oh, by the way, a quick recap for those that just got in. Like Mal asked earlier, what were we on for the Red Sox game? The Red Sox on the Red Sox. I'm on the Red Sox -1. I think Jimmy passed. And of course, which is hilarious. This is a classic Jose card right now. I'm on the Red Sox and I'm fading the Yankees. Who would have thought?
All right. And sorry for skipping the Reds or skipping the Yankees game for the Reds game. So we'll go to 6:40 p.m. Eastern next up for us. Colorado Rockies 5-14, 2-7 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 8-11, 3-3 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Honestly, watching this team hit, I'm concerned about my under 87.5 wins. Now I know they're 8-11 because of how bad their bullpen is, but their offense, I feel like Phillies could get hot here and at some point in the year, and I'm a little nervous, even though it's been a good start. at this point. Let's take a look at the weather here in Philadelphia. 75 Fahrenheit, 7.1 miles per hour to left center, right around 7.1 all game long. Then we'll go over to the line history here for this one. Feltner versus Strom. Strom opening up in the Phillies at minus 203. They're now minus 225. From a totals perspective, this opened up at 9, minus 107 to the over. There's been a 10-cent move to the over. So there's been a move to the over and a move to the Phillies. Let's see if the money is correlated with those two moves. It's not. 27% of the tickets and 66% of the cash is on the Colorado Rockies. Then 17% of the tickets and 58% of the cash is on the under. Very, very interesting. No, the playoffs didn't start yesterday. I went 2-2 plus 0.1 units. There was a goalie change that got me right in the drink, but I'm very excited about the next few days. Rockies, Phillies here. Feltner versus Strom. Feltner last start, 9-2 loss at the Mariners. Ugly. He's had an ugly start to the year. 0-2, 8.78 ERA, 1.95 whip, 15 Ks and 11 walks. And he only went 3 2/3 at the Mariners. Strom not happy that the alcohol sales are going into the 8th inning. And you know what we have to say about that, Matt Strom? Shut the fuck up. Why don't you do that in pitch? 2 2/3 last start. 13-0 loss of the Reds. That's what happens when you talk about us drinking through the 8th inning, is you start pitching poorly. Why don't you focus on pitching and let us drink however much and however long we want?
Do you have any Anthony Bass thoughts?
No, I'm going to leave that alone. Rockies versus lefties, 261, 697 OPS. Phillies versus righties, 287, 808 OPS. They've just been smashing righties. Rockies bullpen, 4.56 ERA, 1.47 whip. Phillies bullpen, atrocious, 6.04 ERA, 1.66 whip. Take it away for us, Jose. Rockies, Phillies.
Yeah, this would be a Daryl, I don't give a fuck about this game spot for me here. Minus 225, just too expensive for me. I cannot believe Matt Strom is starting games for the Phillies consistently right now. I cannot believe that. Dude was a starter or a closer, reliever, whatever you want to call him, for this whole career. Someone whispers in his ear this offseason, you could make more money as a starter, and then just decides to be a starter. Now it's crazy. I can't get there with him, backing him. He's pitched okay too, but I can't get there. No thanks. Ryan Feltner, not a guy we want to back. And, I was pretty surprised as well that you mentioned that more of the money is on the under here. So an easy pass game for me. And it is pretty shocking. Well, not shocking, I guess, but Phillies bats are just tearing the cover off the ball. 4th against righties, 116. 5th last 2 weeks, 122 80 runs created plus. So I pass here, but I'll be watching to see how Matty Strom does, because his starting career is very interesting to me. I just cannot believe it's going this well.
Yeah, Joe Yurkovich shocked as well. Vitalis taking the team total over 4.5 on the Phillies and eating the juice there. Maybe it's the first 5, but the Rockies bullpen's not being very good either.
Well, and we'll mention, I don't know if the same rule applies, but the Rockies are also, of course, leaving Coors one day after, going straight to Philadelphia. So who knows what their bats are going to contribute to any of this. So maybe this is like 8-0 Phillies, and it stays under just because the Rockies don't contribute at all. So it's just an easy pass,
Yeah, that team total they're offering here at Bet365 5.5 at minus 105 for the Phillies. Yeah, I don't find this appealing here either. I don't find this appealing. The Rockies have shown no power against lefties too. It's strange. 261 average though, but OPS under 700. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen an average over 260 and OPS under 700. Since we've been doing this, breaking these angles down. So I don't think I've seen that. Okay, I'm not involved here, but I can understand the Phillies team total over that Vitalis is on. I get it. Feltner's not look good. Let's move on to our playback play of the game for Jose and Dabby Cab. Thursday night tonight, LA Dodgers at Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois, against two pitchers that have just gone up against each other. Let's take a look at the weather, and it's, you know what it's doing at Wrigley? It's blowing out heavy. It starts dying down. I wonder if it keeps, so it's 17.1 out to the right, left center, and then 13.1 out to right center by the end of the game. Let's just refresh it here. I wonder if it's getting a little bit better. It's not. Now 17.8, but it's actually dropping a little quicker, which would, and I almost moved on the first 5/6. I came very close to, and I didn't. I thought I need to talk this one out. So let's go over to the line history. Grove versus Tyon. We have the Cubs opening up -114. There's been no movement on the side here. The total opened up at 10.5. It's back at 11. I told you guys that the first time it got to 11, it lasted there for 9 minutes before it was right back at 10.5. And then it stayed at 10.5 for 40 minutes, but it's at 11 right now. Juice to the under. Let's take a look at the cash. Also, another thing about this, sorry, that I wanted to mention that that initially this was started. This, I guess they were just cutting the vig down. I thought it moved to the under initially, but that is not what happened. So let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot here. We have 56% of the tickets and 52% of the cash on the Cubs, and the line's not moving, and that makes sense. Then you have 58% of tickets and 75% of the cash on the over. Christopher Commentini saw rain on this spot. Let me see if Swish is announcing. Of course, their rain's been so bad. I'll go up to their straight weather in Chicago.
Yeah, it might rain. So if there's a rain delay in the the playback tonight, we'll adjust accordingly. But just a heads up.
You're right, because scattered thunderstorms and then showers. It's going to stop raining by around 10, but wow, okay. All right. Lucas saying, I just realized he drunkenly bet the Red Sox over last night before bed. Says, does he hedge out of it?
No. Pride.
All right, so these pitchers just faced each other. Michael Grove, a 26-year-old second-round pick in the 2018 draft out of the University of West Virginia. He's not looked good this year in 13 innings, 14 Ks and 5 walks, 9 ERAs, 1.6 to whip, small sample size. Let's talk about what he's done the last couple of years. We'll start in 2022. 2022, he started 5 games in AA Tulsa, and he was really good. 2.76 ERA, 0.98 whip. 22 Ks and 16 1/3. Then he goes up to AAA, and he's not good. He's not bad, but he's not nearly as dominant. Still has a nice strikeout percentage, 68 Ks and 59 2/3, but 4.07 ERA, 1.29 whip. 14 games, he started 12 of them. That is Michael Grove, and I know the Dodgers have high expectations for him. I just don't know what to expect from him. In his last start, it was against Tyon, and it was really good, but it was at home. 5 2/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 6 Ks and 2 walks. Tyon had a nice start last out as well, and he's had a good start with the Cubs. Last out, he went 5 innings, didn't allow an earned run, 7 Ks and 2 walks. The Dodgers rating 242, 798 versus righties. Cubs 277, 781 OPS. Dodgers bullpen has been looked bad again yesterday. 5.01 ERA, 1.55 whip. Cubs bullpen 3.67 ERA, 1.14 whip. Take it away, Jose. I'm very interested to hear how you are moving on this game. Dodgers, Cubs.
Yeah, if this game goes, I'm on Cubs team total over here. I don't trust Jameson Taillon enough to back him straight. And I don't think Michael Grove in back-to-back situation can dominate the Cubs twice here. And I'm also obviously factoring in the wind in that. I think the balls will go out, hopefully. So I took Cubs team total over 5. I need to double check the line I got, but I will see. I just think at the end of the day, prove it to me again, Michael Grove. 5 2/3, like you mentioned, 2 hits, 1 earned run. I'll need to see it again. Last time, by the way, there he was a -145 favorite. Now dropping all the way down to this slight underdog always makes me interested, especially because it's still the Dodgers. You know, it's not like anything really changed in this lineup. So that factor always as well plays into it. So, and, you know, shout out to Saturated and all the Cubs guys, Chicago guys in here. This Cubs team has been a powerhouse. especially against righties right now. They're fourth last week and a half, 122 weighted runs created plus. Full season, 112 weighted runs created plus. That's eighth in the league. And as always, I am kind of rooting for the Cubs because it would make me feel like a smart lad that Helga's dad would have to cash out that Cubs World Series ticket, obviously. So,
Noli knows on the first 5 under 6. I'm not going to get involved. That's what I'm going to do, is not get involved. Noli, I'm not going to go on the other side of Noli knows, certainly not. So that was my lean, but I wanted to talk it out and I didn't trust it enough. Let's go to that team total for you. I can only get you a 5.5 at plus money over here. So what did you get the 5 at?
I've got the 5. Let me double check here. I accidentally fucking closed my tab. Good job by me. I'll say this real quick. My guy Big Ragu asking to explain playback real quick. So Big Ragu, imagine you are watching the baseball game on like MLB TV, but except you are watching us on screen as well in a couple little bubbles. Talking about the game, and you can also listen to the game. You can adjust the volumes, et cetera, et cetera. Turn us up, turn the volume on the game down, and you can hash out whatever talk. There's a chat as well. It's a good time. We do it Thursdays. I just dropped the link in the chat, and the 5 is -110 at Bovada. So shout out to that. -110 for that.
We also got the pimp slap play of the day in, and it is the Minnesota Twins.
Well, I endorse any play that's on the opposite side of me. So shout out to you, Mike M.
All right. I am off here. Hunter wants to jump on the playback streams with you guys. So I'm sure they'd love to have you, man.
Yeah,
okay.
Jump on. Anyone can be on too. That's the fun part about playback. We let you guys jump on with us. And the rule is, of course, you can be on as long as you'd like, but if you do get annoying, we will kick you out. Yes, but yeah, it's fun time. All you need really, I heard, is a really easy sign up too. Especially if you have like YouTube TV or whatever, all it took, some guys were just signing into their Gmails, and they were connected, ready to go. So you can watch the game with us, be in the chat, all that good stuff. And if you're Canadian, you can just jump in the chat with us and watch the game on your own TV. It'd be a fun time. So,
yes, Darren Turner, I'm on the Avs first period -0.5 and full game -1.5. I'm on the Avs bounce back spot here. Okay, let's roll on. We have 2 games left before we get into NBA. So I will send Brizzy a 10-minute warning right now. 9:40 p.m. Eastern is next up for us. San Diego Padres at Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres 9-11, 4-3 on the road. Diamondbacks 11-8, 5-2 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. I guess we first need to know if the roof is open. So I apologize for not already doing that. Roof open. Let's get that up. Information right now. Roof information. Here we go. And the roof is open. So it's closed on Sunday. It's going to be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So remember that this roof's going to be open for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let's take a look at the weather with the roof open. 82 Fahrenheit, 8.2 miles per hour left to right. Then it starts being slightly out to right field, dies down to 7.3. So between 8.4 and 7.3 out to right field. Let's move over to the line history for this one. Padres, Diamondbacks. Here we go. Waka versus Ryan Nelson. The line history-wise, Arizona opening up at +108. They're now +126. So there's been a 20-cent move to the Padres, -117 to -137. Totals-wise, it's opened up at 9.5, and it's now at 10. So we have a legit move to the Padres and a legit move to the over. Let's see if the cash correlates with that here. We have on the money line 52% of the tickets and 79% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. And the books want more money to come in on the Diamondbacks. Total-wise, 70% of tickets, 69% of cash on the over. It's gone from 9.5 to 10. Noli knows looking at the Diamondbacks' first 5. And there it is, the spreadsheet play of the day. San Diego -1 at -104. Spreadsheet play of the day coming off a winner yesterday on the Twins -127. Spreadsheet play of the day now on our show, 5 and 4, hitting at 55.5% plus 1.23 units, ROI plus 13.67%, and average line plus 101. Dommy Gunrici says he'd lean Diamondbacks first 5, if anything, as well. Troy Torrance says Padres scored 1 run past 3 games. What a joke. Johnny Gunn says, want to fade Tatis return. One player does not change how the Padres have started their season. Padres offense is ass-tastic as a whole right now. Okay. So Waka, 2-1, 6.06 ERA, 1.47 whip. He's looked bad. Actually, he looked pretty good the first 2 starts. He just got completely lit up in his last start. 4 in the third, 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 1 walk, 11-2 loss at home to the Brewers. Ryan Nelson looked great in his last start. Now, he's at the Marlins, Pitchers Park against a weak-hitting team, and he's looked decent so far this year. Padres aren't hitting righties, 218, 695 OPS, and Diamondbacks aren't either. They're hitting better average, 246, but just 708 OPS. Padres bullpen, 3.93 ERA, 1.37 whip, and the Diamondbacks bullpen looks bad, 5.50 ERA, 1.43 whip. Take it away for us here, Jose, Bouquett, Padres, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I don't think I have a play in this one, honestly. It is obviously concerning that the book, like you said, is opening its arms to Diamondbacks money. I think that's interesting. I honestly thought this was a Diamondbacks spot as well. First lean here. Last night I wrote Diamondbacks first 5 just because I thought Waka would struggle here against a Diamondbacks team that has been hot. They're first in the division, I believe, still. So I've liked what I've seen from the Diamondbacks overall. But honestly, after just hearing that, I wouldn't hate a Padres first 5 team total over 2.5 here. -125, so a little juicy. But I'm interested to see, obviously, what the Tatis factor is in all of this. I mean, we've got obviously a bunch of comments coming in through right now about like if Tatis comes in, the dugout and the lineup start getting going. Sharpie mentioning that runs in bunches when he comes in the leadoff spot. He's going to hit leadoff today, allegedly. That's what RotoWire has too, as well. So, and he's playing right field too. So there's another note on that. So we'll have to see Tatis in another position too. But I don't know, man. I'm a little worried about betting this big return, and it definitely feels square being on the Padres. But like you mentioned, if the books are opening up to more Diamondbacks money, then that's also scary too.
I don't know why you'd feel square being on the Padres. I mean,
it's just like the big return for the star player, I don't think star player theory counts in baseball. So
either do I.
That's why I lean first 5 Arizona, but like the play that I've written down, and I think I will end up making official is Padres first 5 team total over 2.5 here. I think Ryan Nelson has pitched well this season, and he pitched twice against the Padres last year in 3 of his starts that he had. So he's seen this Padres team a couple of times, and he dominated them in his first start in his debut. But he got touched up for 3 earned runs and 5 1/3 last time, 2 home runs. I think that maybe Tatis does it, brings the juice, and we like capping psychology sometimes, Jimmy. I think that obviously Tatis is still a player that's amongst the favorites in baseball, but I still think he's hated by a good amount of people, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got some boos here tonight from the Diamondbacks faithful. And fucking we know who loves being the villain more than anyone in baseball, Fernando Tatis. Maybe they start galvanizing and rallying around Tatis's return. And I think the Padres could go on a run here as well. So we'll see how all that shakes out. Obviously that's all, not like analytical data that we can look to, but I like the Padres here, and I'm going to move officially on Padres first 5 team total over 2.5 there.
Okay. Sorry.
-125 is what I've got. So juice, but it is.
Okay.
And TJ Tatis is back tonight.
What is your official spot?
First 5 team total over 2.5 for the Padres, -125. And obviously, I need visual confirmation with my eyes to see if Tatis is in this lineup. I am assuming he's going to be in this lineup, and if he is not, then I will not be betting this. But yeah, I'm 90% sure he's going to be in the lineup.
I am going to move on the Padres on the -1 line. I will be riding with Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day. I can't help but notice that the books are opening their arms up to Diamondbacks cash. And you have a Diamondbacks team that's rolling. Diamondbacks team is 5-2 at home, 11-8. The public is going to keep betting them, I imagine. And I'm going to be on the other side with spreadsheet and correlating with your action as well. So
it's so weird that people are betting the Diamondbacks here. I guess because they've just been rolling recently.
Yeah.
I really thought that Tatis coming back would get people behind the Padres.
I think the Padres have just been so terrible. But and you're talking about the who's going to be booed. Yeah, Tatis, we know he's going to be booed everywhere he goes for the rest of his life. Not even just in stadiums. Just walking on the street, he's going to get booed. So
You're just going to see him around the six. You're just going, boo!
Oh, of course. Of course. That's, yeah, of course.
What would you say to him? Just call him ringworm?
I would just boo.
Old ringworm Tatis? No?
That was the dumbest excuse ever. What a fucking idiot. But yes, I'm on. I don't get to run with Ron enough because it has to correlate with my capping. I don't get to run with the plays of the days enough, so I always get excited when I do. Thank you, DC, my man. Ryan Mueller on the Padres run line. Okay, this is my first edition. Padres -1. I'm adding to my card. Let's move on to a bet I did make. And I hope the market's moved with me in this one. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Now, I don't really know what to do with Kodai Senga. I don't know if he's as good as we believe he is. Now that there's some tape on him in America, I don't know. And that's the only reason why I had planned to move on Mets first 5. But I also couldn't help but stare at that one start Manaea had in San Francisco. 1 earned run over 6 innings. I couldn't get over that. And that ended up getting me off of the Mets first 5. But it didn't get me off the first 5 under 4.5. I got that at -115 last night. That's my action in Mets Giants. Let's take a look at the weather here in San Francisco. 57 Fahrenheit, 12.2 miles out to right center. We know the wind swirls, and it's not as big of a deal. We know it's a pitcher's ballpark, and that's to the deepest part of the park where the wind's blowing out to. Go over to the line history here with this one. We have the Giants opening up at +110. They're now +106. So there's been a 4-cent move towards them. Totals wise, it's opened up at 8.5, -106 to the under. It's now -111 to the under. I'd like to see what the first 5 market. Oh, they're not going to tell me, right? Because it's. Oh, yes, they are. So this opened up at -112 to the under. It's now -110 to the under. But this got up to -123 to the under. Wow. So this got down to 4. This was at 4 at 9:40. So there's been a lot of buyback on the over in the last little bit. Makes me a little uncomfortable here. Yes, Manaea is terrible. But how many pitchers have we seen go to San Francisco and pitch well at home? Here's a lefty who would it surprise you if we have an advantage here every time Manaea is at home? Look, I don't want to fade Senga, but that wouldn't surprise me, Wouldn't surprise me at all. Senga 2-0, 3.38 ERA, 1.44 whip, 21 Ks, 16 innings, 10 walks, 3 home runs. Last start, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, 7 Ks, 4 walks, a 17-6 win at the A's. Razor saying it's 420 that I should have a bat in the air. That just goes to show you how fucking important it is to win here, because I would never think of it. We need to fucking win. We need to cap here strong. And Ella's at school. I could smoke a bat right here, but I won't do it. Because I need to be sharp and we need to fucking win.
Daddy, why does it smell like that?
I could air this bitch out before she gets back. Senga did not look good in his last start at the A's. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, 7 Ks, 4 walks. Manaea, look, he looked bad in that 7-5 extra inning loss at the Tigers. He only made it through 3 1/3. But I couldn't get past how good he looked in his start in San Francisco. I couldn't. Sharpie says, I think both these starters give up 3 earned runs today. That makes me nervous. So Dommy Gun says Senga, in my opinion, will be okay in this road start. Giants off that extra inning in Miami has to have an effect. We'll go over the batter versus pitcher, but this is an interesting ballpark, and the Mets are not hitting lefties. Now, my first thought was, look, they're going to love Manaea after seeing Kershaw. And that was the very first thing that I was like, I was going to move on them first five, but I was like, I just couldn't get past that one start. Maybe that's going to burn me. Giants versus righties, 253, 816 OPS. Mets bullpen being much better than the Giants bullpen. Sharpie says Senga's seen two teams in his 3 games, happens to be the worst 2-run scoring teams in the league, Miami and Oakland. And I want to hear your breakdown here, Jose. New York Mets, San Francisco Giants in Oracle Park.
Interesting game. I don't know if you have this, but last night I saw it at minus 140, all the way down to now minus 120 for the New York Metropolitans. I thought that was pretty shocking. I had the same thought you did, Jimmy. I had Mets -1, Mets -0.5, first 5 in here. I don't know. It's tough. I was a little worried about the start last time against Oakland, I should say, start against Oakland. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, and a -220 favorite. It's never ideal. Look, Dami, I wish I remember what you told me about Mets unders and lefties. But Dami did mention, I think this the other day, tough travel spot for the Giants. Let me double check here. Where were the Giants yesterday?
Miami,
and they fly cross country all the way to come back to San Francisco to play the Metropolitans here, while the Mets just roll right down from LA to San Francisco. I thought that was a factor. I thought that was an interesting one. And I believe also, like Dami said, they played extras too. So whatever. I don't hate your underlook at all. I like it very much. I hope it cashes for you, obviously. I think Kodai Senga is going to win NL Rookie of the Year pretty easily. I think he is pretty good here. Shout out to Gambler's First Glance. He's on Giants money line +105 there. I lean Mets here, but after that big line movement, it's kind of scared me off, honestly. It's up apparently. Sorry, I didn't know. I don't know my LA geography. Up to LA. So,
I think that there's I don't care that much about the matchup issues that Manaea's had against the Mets. Let's start with Eduardo Escobar. How many days has he got left with the Mets? Beatty's come up to take his job. He knows it. When you watch him at bat, he's like, he just doesn't look confident. So
he just needs to be around his Venezuelan brothers scaring him with cats. And he kind of knew that his time was coming because in the offseason, they were going to sign Correa and then send him to the bench.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's known that his time is coming for a while now. By the way, Jimmy, another note to add on to your, Mets and under here. The Giants, we look at their full season. They're second against righties, 122 weighted runs created plus. But last 2 weeks from the 9th to the 20th, 17th, 92 weighted runs created plus against righties. So a big decline in their full season number in their last 2 weeks as well.
Deb, why would smoking make me lose? If smoking made me lose, I'd be losing every day. I just need to cap 3 sports and speak coherently, break down all these angles that I spent 10 hours on. That's all. I just want to break down these games the best of my abilities for the people watching the show. I didn't say smoking makes you fucking lose. Fuck you talking about? All right. Razor Gambler's First Glance, Giants money line at +105. Giants money line for Razor Sharp picks +105. Then we have the spreadsheet play of the day. That's the first addition that I'm going to make on this card. San Diego -1 at -104 is the spreadsheet play of the day. There we go. Let's review all MLB action. Pimp slap play today is on the Minnesota Twins going heads up with the Boston Red Sox and Jose Bouquett, who's on the Red Sox -1 at +113.
Shocker.
I'm on the Angels first 5 at +120 and LA New York Yankees first 5 under 4.5 at -115. Jose's also on the Angels first 5 with me at +125 and Angels team total over at 3.5. Reds, Pirates, we are off. Rockies, Phillies off. Jose's on the Cubs team total over 5 at -110. Dodgers, Cubs. As I said, spreadsheet play today on the Padres. I'm going to tail the Padres -1. I feel like it correlates enough here for me. First 5 team total over 2.5 for Jose. And then the New York Mets, San Francisco first 5 under 4.5. And I guess when you do look at the matchups, which didn't scare me that much, is Pham even going to start here? Maybe it should scare me more. And maybe I got too caught up in that one start in San Francisco. But I just feel like we've seen this for a few years. I know that Jacob Junis came in that Marlins series and got crushed, but Junis is absolutely atrocious. And he has good starts in that San Francisco ballpark. So I just don't put it past. Look, I'm sorry. I love Cab. I love Dabby Cab. I love him very much.
God damn it, Cab, you dummy.
I love him very, very much. I didn't mean to get – I just I don't think that smoking marijuana correlates with losing. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. I just feel it very important to cap quickly and not, sit here and talk about other things and stay.
Well, you do love a 3-hour show. We know that. By the way, Jimmy, another thing to add on to your point about Manaea here, since Farhan Zaidi and since Gabe Kapler have come in there, it seems like every time they bring in one of these old veteran pitchers, they always find to get something out of them. Like that's just what it's been for the last couple of years. Year 2 of that obviously has diminishing returns, but year 1 of them coming in there, they always find something. So that's a good point.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I think there's some biases obviously at play for this first 5 under 4.5 and not moving on the Mets. I thought that Kodai didn't look good against the A's. That's in my head. I thought Manaea looked very good in that one home start, and I think he might show us a ton of value in his home starts because he's not a very good pitcher. But sometimes those lefties pitch very well in that ballpark. So we'll go over everything here. This is the day of change for you, Jose. We're going to mark it down. 420. You're going right up against Pimp Slap play today here in what? 20 minutes.
What could possibly? I've got 420 tattooed on me, by the way. Fun fact. So that's very funny.
I won't ask where. Let's move on to NBA. Jose, great stuff, Jose. We believe in you.
Thanks.
And get that cash.
Yep. Don't forget, everyone, tonight, the playback. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It'll be Dodgers Cubs. And if it rains, we'll talk about it during the playback, but definitely jump on. And I am on a revenge tour, Jimmy, when it comes to basketball too. I talked to Daryl yesterday about his Lakers to see if they can find some kind of backbone and make their way through a shitty Western Conference. Billy Brisbane and the Philadelphia 76ers better be prepared for what happens to them next round. We know what happens every single time the Celtics and 76ers play. Just be ready, Billy, and the whole city of Philadelphia, because we know what happens with Joel Embiid. He starts crying like a little baby, and he knows.
All right, there he is, Jose Bouquett. Let's get to basketball right now. And your next guest doesn't have a big sample size on our show, but he's been very good on it. Very good on it. Average line at +118 also, which is not easy to do in NBA. 14 and 12, hitting at 53.8%, +1.14 units, and ROI +4.38%. Dan Kelly says you are putting way too much importance on Jose turning this around today. Says it better work. Okay. All right. I know, Razor, I thought about kicking him off just because he used to call basketball shooty hoops. So I almost kicked him off, but he's fragile right now. So we gotta give him confidence and get him rolling in MLB. Let's go into NBA. We have just the man for the job. Please welcome to the show from South Jersey, Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Currently still in Connecticut at Gorilla's mom's house, but we stroll off to another day we go.
Let's get to work. Can we get some more light there for you? Is there any way we can get some more light on you? Can you?
Should I switch spots?
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. You're in business now. Okay. We're rolling. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Brizzy, and get to work, my friend. We didn't get to roll with you last week. It was a day off of NBA, and we missed you. So let's get to work and get paid in full here. So 3 weeks ago, you swept the board. 3 weeks ago, you swept the board. Let's get right back to that, Billy. Let's get right back to that. We start 7:30 p.m. East, first round. The aforementioned Philadelphia 76ers. Game 3, they're up 2-0 at the Brooklyn Nets in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. This series is being played at a snail-like pace, 90.75 possessions a game. Now, both these teams were in the bottom third in pace anyways. Brooklyn 23rd in pace, 98.77 possessions a game. Philadelphia 97.44 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. And we have, move over to NBA. And let's get this rolling, Brizzy. Sixers, Nets, Brooklyn opening up at +5. They're now +4.5. They got down to +4 at 10:16 this morning. It lasted at 4 until 34 minutes ago, until 12:23 p.m. Let's take a look at so market moving towards Brooklyn, and it's come back a little. Take a look at the total. Opened up at 209. It's gone up to 209.5. It got up to 210. The initial move was towards the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. Sorry, hold on. Get over to NBA. Okay, here we go. We have 75% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Sixers. It's a lot of money on the Sixers for the market to be moving towards the Nets. Now, there has been a little bit of buyback. From a total scenario, we have 81% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the over. And I'm surprised with how slow this pace has been. Very, very slow. By the way, Dan Kelly has an interesting note. I'm going to copy and paste it here we can discuss it when we get to the end of after we bang out the Clippers game. Here we go. Okay, Brizzy, I'm going to set a quick table for you, and then we will hear you roll. I'll tell you, though, just looking at the amount of money on the Sixers and the market moving a full point now with a half point of buyback makes me want to bet the Nets. Sixers won game 1, 121-101, and followed up with a 96-84 victory. And now we head to Brooklyn. Embiid had 19 boards. The Sixers won the rebounding battle 56-33. Embiid was getting double all game, had 7 assists. Looked good. Maxey and Harris were hitting their shots. Maxey went for 33. And Harris went for 20. They combined to go 21 of 37 from the field. The Nets completely stopped scoring in the second half, 35 points, and were just 37.5% from the field. Cameron Johnson looked great in the first half, but, Embiid's a bad man. 6 points after halftime, 6 points after that dunk that was in Embiid's face.
I think the story of the show is Tyrese Maxey, man. Maxey was balling out. Calipari was taking pictures with him after the game, courtside. Everybody was ringing the bell in Philly. We had Sirianni ring the bell last game. The last game was really Maxey's performance.
Maxey was spectacular, and Dinwiddie was terrible. So he's now 2 of 18 over his last 4 games from 3. And 13 of 47 from the field over that span. Here we go. Torrey Coker looking at the first half over in the Nets game. Then we have the under for Markelle. And Gregory Simmons saying Nets play better at home with a faster pace. He likes the over. Justin McElvee's on the Nets first half money line. Astute Chaos is on the first half over 106.5. And Joe Yurkovich says teams down 0-2 coming home have strong trends for the first half. So the lines are skewed towards that. We'll take it away, Brizzy. We want to hear from you. Sixers, Nets.
Yeah, I like Joe Yurkovich's little nugget right there. We'll definitely talk about that in one of these upcoming games. But the Sixers were just as good on the road this year as they were at home. I mean, they were 25-16 on the road and 29-12 at home. The Sixers dominated the first game by shooting the 3-point shot, and then we won game 2 defensively. They're 4-1 ATS last 5 games, 5-1 ATS last 6 games in Brooklyn. The Nets are 2-5 ATS last 7 games, 3-7 straight up in their last 10 games. Win home versus Philly. Brooklyn, to be honest with you, I would bet Brooklyn here if they weren't getting killed so much on the rebounds, man. They're getting murdered on the rebounds. They're allowing the 3rd most offensive rebounds per game. This series so far, Phillies had 37 second chance points while Brooklyn's only had 3. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, from a narrative theory, how much is this really a home game for the Brooklyn Nets? I know a lot of homies that haven't been able to go to Sixers games because of the tickets, and they're going to the Barclays Arena tonight because it's a better venue and it's cheaper tickets to go there. So to be honest with you, I think half of the crowd's going to be Philadelphia and the other half is going to be Brooklyn. This isn't really that big of a home game. I get it. Game 1 closed at -8.5. Game 2 is -10. The switch of venues isn't really worth a 5-point swing for me. I like Philadelphia tonight. I would line this game at 5.5, 6, but just because it's my favorite team, I don't want to go all in on it or anything like that. Anything that becomes an official show bet on this show is usually over a unit. So this would be under probably be like a half unit, quarter of a unit, like in a parlay or something like that. Put the Sixers in there at -190. But I like the Sixers in this spot. That would be the lean. But player prop wise, I like Royce O'Neal over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Role players step up in these type of home games, and tonight kind of feels like a Royce to 5-9 type of game. He's gone over his rebound and assist prop 4 out of his last 5 games, and the lone miss was 7 when he got in foul trouble versus Philly and played 17 minutes. But he's looked good in the first 2 games of the series. He's yet to miss this prop this year when seeing 26-plus minutes versus Philadelphia this season. I think the only way Brooklyn can compete with Philadelphia is by going with a small lineup to try to outscore us and bring up the pace of play. That would be the only way Brooklyn's going to win these games. I mean, they haven't been able to outshoot us, and they haven't been able to play better defense than us. So the only way Brooklyn wins this game is if the over goes substantially over. So if you like Brooklyn, I would just bet the over 210. That would be, or the Brooklyn team total over would be a good spot here if you like Brooklyn. But me personally, I'm on Philadelphia. Hard lean towards the Royce O'Neal, 7.5 rebounds and assists. But as of right now, that isn't an official play, but definitely might be later on in the day. But that's my thoughts and opinions on this one. I'm interested to see what you guys are saying in the chat. I've been looking at the chat. You guys been saying 4.5 for the Phillies feels very Vegas trappy, but the Sharps did rip yesterday, man. The kind of got squarey at the end of the night with the Nuggets -8.5 covering and stuff like that. But I think today's a pretty square day besides the last game of the night.
And what a difference between the first half and the full game. That's bigger than usual. Just 1.5 points for Brooklyn early. Correlating with Joe Yurkovich's note.
Razors saying Maxey over 2.5 threes ? I'm waiting for a Curry prop, man. I think Curry has a good game tonight too in Brooklyn.
So you lean. You're going to put a small wager on your Sixers, or use them as a parlay piece. You lean towards O'Neal, 7.5 rebounds and assists, but at this point, nothing official for us but that right now.
Yeah.
I feel you.
For the playoffs specifically, I've been having more success really nailing down on one game specifically and hammering the player props. Like last night, Denver was beautiful with I parlayed Denver with the Oilers money line and then had the Jamal Murray over 2.5 threes. The Michael Porter one got hit by a hook. And Jocic's triple-double, man. That one was a killer, man. Finished at the hook on 9 rebounds and 9 assists. Had Jokic triple-double +190. Jokic triple-double in the Nuggets to win +225. And a same-game parlay of Jokic triple-double, Murray over 2.5 threes and the Nuggets money line. So I'm looking to get a little bit of vengeance back on the books tonight, but nothing really too crazy here in this game. I like the next game a lot more. I think the next game is really a game to really hammer.
Well, I'm interested in the Nets here.
I think if you're going to bet the Nets, why wouldn't you just bet a game 4? I think that would be the game that Philly would lose. We're up 3-0 in the series. Everybody's cool, relaxed. We know we're going to the second round, and then we drop one in Brooklyn going back to Philadelphia. I think that's how this series really plays out.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just, everything's on the line. Look, I don't think the Nets are sitting here expecting, but they want to make this a series.
I just don't think they have the ability to. I think out of all the playoff teams for power rankings that I had, the Nets were by far the worst team in the playoffs out of all the playing teams that were in the Eastern Conference. I mean, in reality, Jim, really think about it. Their record is really a combination of KD snapping in the early part of the season, and then Kyrie went off those 30 games in a row, and the Nets are the weakest team in the whole entire playoffs by a wide margin. If that roster played an 82-game season, they would be in the fucking lottery, bottom 10 team in the NBA.
No, I agree, and I took them not to make the playoffs, and that blew up in my face. But what we've seen from the Sixers is that they can turn it on in a third quarter and completely take over the game. I think the fact that the Nets are at 1.5 for the first half and 4.5 for the full game, it tells the story here. I think the Nets come out extremely hungry, and the Sixers know that they can turn it on.
Then bet the Nets first quarter.
First quarter or first half, yeah. I've got to sit with it a little longer, but I'm going to be on the Nets. I'm going to be on the Nets early.
I'm telling you, man, the Nets just don't match up well. If the Mets rebounded way better, it would be a different story. But Jack Vaughn came out the last game and he said he wanted to shoot more threes, and they shot more threes, and none of them went in. I just don't. I get it, switch of venues and all that, but don't be surprised, man, if the Nets get blown out tonight and this line at 4.5 looks like a cigar game.
Very interesting. I'm going to be moving on the Nets early.
That's the way to go. If you're going to bet the Nets early or take the team total over.
And I don't know if I want, but I don't want to double up here.
If the Nets win this game, they're going to have to shoot the ball well, Jim. And if the Nets win this game, it goes over 210. If this goes under, the Sixers are definitely winning this game.
All right. I like it. Let's roll on for us. Next up here is a beauty. West first round, game 3. Sacramento up 2-0. The Warriors are only plus 165 to win this series. I really thought that it would be more than that. I really thought.
Nah, the books are nerfing the NBA playoffs nowadays.
Chase Center in San Francisco, California. We've already heard from Justin McElvey. He's on the Warriors minus 1.5 first quarter and 3 units on that. Dan Kelly says, hate to be opposite of Billy more than anyone, but he's on Sacramento money line, and he got 2-1, and he's got a Sabonis prop and money line same game parlay. So let's get that down so we can discuss that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dan. Razor Sharp Pick says Nets first quarter and first half and Sixers full game is what he leans. I get that. Okay, this series is being played at a very fast pace, 104.25 possessions a game. Golden State Warriors were the fastest pace throughout the regular season at 102.54. Sacramento was 12th at 100.99. We know the biggest story within this game is Draymond Green is being suspended for stepping down on the chest of Sabonis. The Kings open up at +7. They're now at +6. So we've had a 1-point move towards the Kings. From a total side of things, it's opened up at 238.5 and is now at 240. It's been at 240 for some time, but I guess it didn't move till 240 till 1:30 this morning. But it's been there since 1:30 this morning. It's moved 4 cents since then to the over. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have on the spread, we have 63% of the tickets and 79% of the cash. 63 and 79% of the cash on the Warriors. And we've moved a point towards the Kings. Total-wise, 46% of the tickets and 65% of cash on the under, and yet, the line has only gone up. Mike M says Warriors are 5-0 against the spread versus Kings if they lost the previous meeting as a favorite. BJ says no need to get cute here. This is all Warriors tonight. Mike M says Warriors are 15-1 plus 11.88 points per game in the playoffs if they lost the last game outright and the game previous against the spread. Okay, so Dan Kelly says, haven't seen anyone else in the chat on Sacramento money line. That is a very good sign.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Kings won game 126-123, followed up with a 114-106 victory. Now we head to San Francisco, where the Warriors had the best against the spread record in the home record in the league. So down 2-0 for the first time in the Steve Kerr era. They played 9 games without Draymond Green in the regular season, and they won just 3 of them. However, they were 2-0 at home without Draymond Green. 2-0 at home. So the Kings won despite getting outshot by the Warriors from the field and from 3. And it's because they won the offensive board battle 29-18. They've scored more free throws, and they've committed fewer turnovers. They're doing everything right here. This is wild. And Troy Torrance says, just so you know, on the public books, he's seeing the Sixers line open at 3.5 and moving to 4.5. Okay, thank you, Troy. That is very important. I'll take a look at what BetOnline did on it. Take it away for us here. But I'm sold on the first quarter, first half, anyways. Now on that spot, I just don't know if I want both. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors.
I think that's how the card's going to look today, Jim, for you. The first quarter, first half for both of these games, because I think that's the strongest play in these games. But we'll get into like the stats of it. But the biggest knock on the Kings has been their defense, man. But Mike Brown's got this team really defending right now, hence why they're up 2 games. De'Aaron Fox coming off his first ever Clutch Player of the Year award. And Mike Brown, more than likely, probably getting the Coach of the Year award for the Warriors. I mean, like you said, Curry's first time he's ever been down 0-2 in a series. But this particular scenario reminds you of 2016 when the Thunder were up 3-1 on the Warriors, and the Warriors ended up winning 4 games straight. I'm never counting this ball club out, and neither are the books either. Hence the betting line, -6 tonight for the Warriors. But I understand it, though. The Kings are 0-6 straight up in their last 6 games playing on the road in Golden State. Their Warriors are 12-1 straight up in their last 13 games at home. I expect that trend to probably continue tonight versus Sacktown. But the trend I'm really following and put my money on is home teams trailing 0-2 in series are 50-24-1 ATS in the first half. And since 2014, 2015, Kerr is 22-14 ATS after a playoff loss. So he's been the most profitable coach / team to back in the playoffs after a loss here. So I'm on the Warriors first quarter, -2.5, -118. Golden State Warriors first half, -3.5, -128. And the player prop that I like for this game is Kevin Looney over 18.5 points and rebounds, -125. That's my favorite player prop of the day. No Draymond in the lineup will force more minutes for Looney. Probably play around 26 to 30 minutes. If he could stay out of foul trouble, he definitely should be on his way to the double-double as well. But Looney has 9+ rebounds in 4 out of his last 6 games versus Sacramento this season. No Draymond in the lineup. He's going to have to play Sabonis and play a big part. I love his player prop tonight at 18.5, -125. And I don't mind the double-double prop if you're looking for plus money. But I think that's the way I'm going to hammer the card tonight, is hitting the Golden State Warriors first quarter, first half, and the Looney player prop.
Did you tweet anything out, or can I line shop?
You can line shop. I haven't tweeted anything out.
Okay.
I'm waiting particularly for this AC Roma game that comes on at 3 o'clock. I got some weird bets in that game. That game is a Champions Europa League game, wherever it is. I like the under 2.5 in that game, and I bet the final score to be 1-1 plus 575 or 1-0 in the side of Roma, and that was plus 600. So I got some correct scores. I got to cash real quick in soccer.
I can get you a 2.5 and -105 for the first quarter, but I can't find a 3.5 first half. Is that available right now for you?
3.5 first half, -128 FanDuel Sportsbook.
-128. I'll see what Pinnacle's hanging. Just very quickly, see if I move it to 3.5, if I can get you a better number there quickly. So we'll just move over there. Here, first half. I bet you I can. Bet first half -3.5, -125. So we'll get you -125. And what's the Kevon Looney over 18.5?
Points and rebounds, -125.
Points and rebounds, -125. I'm nervous about this basketball game, but I'd like to talk a little bit about the total here. With Draymond Green off the floor, I feel like it means there's going to be more offense. And there's been so much offense in this series already. This total's gone up to 240. It's a juice to the over. It's juice to the over despite 46% of the tickets and 63% of cash on the under. What do you think of that total in this game? And talk about the pace, which has been so fast. Is it going to be faster even without Draymond out there?
To be honest with you, for me to play a total, I look more into the referee statistical data and stuff like that. And the referee tonight is Eric Lewis. And the one trend that he's been kind of like known for is when totals are 230 or higher, it's 12 and 14. So 12 have gone over and 14 have gone under. So that would be like the hardest lean in this game. For the statistical data for this referee tonight is that a lot of these games go under.
Interesting. And Mike M also has an angle to the under. And tell me you didn't just say that. Says Draymond is critical for the Warriors offense. So he likes the under. He's on the under, in his opinion. Rick J's betting the Keegan Murray over 1.5 threes. And Danielson says, no, Jimmy, without Green, their offense will be scattered. Because Green is their leader on offense. He sets the screen, calls the plays, and makes the passes.
Yeah, but you still have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson shooting threes. And Draymond Green is a great basketball player, but he can be replaced.
I don't need to be involved in this one. I don't think I do at this point. I have futures on the Warriors, and very uncomfortable with them at this point. So I'll just.
They come out hot early. They might lose the game full game, but they're going to come out hot early. This is the typical spot. Nobody wants to put the Warriors in the first quarter, first half because of the Draymond thing. But without Draymond in there, that's going to make Curry play the whole entire first quarter. So that's the reason why I like the first quarter. He's going to play 10 out of the 12 minutes in the first quarter. And I feel like the Warriors come out hot in this game. Do the Kings come back and cover? Probably a little backdoor cover to cover the -6. That's a little bit steep. But first quarter, first half is the way to go in this game. That's the best bet on the card.
Mally Mouse says Warriors first quarter is the easiest play to make.
I'm telling you, the first quarter, first half is the best bet on this card.
Leonard Port Jr. says he cannot wait till the Warriors go up 10 so he can take the Kings. All right.
Leonard's giving out the blueprint. That's exactly what I'm doing. As you could tell, I didn't do the first quarter, first half full game because I might bet the fucking Kings full game. But first quarter, first half is definitely going to be you know how the arena goes. First shot goes in from 3-point land. Everybody's screaming and hollering. Golden State's going to be up and pumped for this game. We know Golden State sucks on the road. Now they're at home.
Yeah, I'll look more into this Warriors first quarter because I see what you are seeing here. Do you have any interest in the first quarter team total? Would that be something that you would?
I do not want to get cute in this spot. Fucking around with totals and stuff has not been the way to. Besides last night's over, but I've not been fucking around with totals in NBA right now, especially in the playoffs, dude. The playoffs are so sporadic of how these overs and unders go and stuff like that. Remember we're on the Sunday night stream for the Clippers and Suns game, and the over looked like a super lock, and then nobody scored in the last 2 minutes. Like that's the type of bullshit that happens in NBA games. So I'm cooling on betting over unders.
All right. I'll look more into that first quarter Warriors spot. Heritage has moved that to 3, but there are still 2.5s available, quite market wide here. All right, let's move on to this spot. Raw Dog says Jimmy always trying to pressure bets. I just asked about the total, Raw Dog.
I don't blame you, though, because when you bet the total, it takes away the whole entire spread and let just be a very high-scoring first quarter. And Jim's sitting by his computer sleeping at that point of the night when the Warriors cash it halfway through the first quarter. Like, it's definitely an idea, but I don't know. I think I want to stick towards the spreads. I think the Warriors are going to be up by 10 or 12 points at halftime.
I'm going to ask about the total and the sides in this game, Raw Dog, as well. I hope you don't die an early death from STDs. Let's move on to 10:30 p.m. Eastern West first round game 3, series tied 1-1. Suns 45-37, 17-24 on the road. LA Clippers 44-38, 23-18 at home. We're at Crypto. This series is being played at almost the exact same pace as both teams played all year. It's been played at 98.75 possessions a game. Phoenix at 98.83, Clippers at 98.84 this year, 22nd, 21st, respectively. Take a look at the line history here for this one. Move over here. We have these Clippers opening up at +2.5. They're now +3.5. So we have a 1-point move towards the Phoenix Suns. Totals wise, it's opened up at 228 and it's dropped to 226. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 69% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the Suns. Wow, that's a lot of money on the Suns here. 62% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the under. Oof.
I like that play, Spenny.
So, what is Spenny hammering?
Highland 2+3. So that's got to be some good plus monies.
Suns lost game 1, 115, 110 before winning game 2, 123, 109. Booker, 38 points, 14 of 22 shooting, and 9 assists. It was very, very impressive. 26 points in game 1, 38, 9 in game 2. I mean, he just took over. Phoenix now 9-1 when Durant has played. The Suns shot 58.8% from the field. They were 10 of 24 from 3. Chris Paul hurt his hand. The x-rays were negative. Cameron Payne is yet to play in this series. So they need, and that's because of a lower back injury. So he's considered questionable for game 3, and they can't have Chris Paul hurt this hand injury here. Westbrook, 9 of 16 shooting in game 2, 28 points. He's been very good. And Kawhi followed up that 38-point performance in game 1 with 31 in game 2. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Suns, Clippers.
I do like the Clippers tonight as a slight home underdog. It's not an A play for me, but it's around a C+ play for me. Does a C+ play make my card tonight? Probably not. So there's a couple other things that I do like earlier in the night where I can probably sit around and waiting towards probably get this line and probably even higher, honestly, by closing time, if that's how much money's coming in on the Suns. But Suns, I understand 5-2 ATS in their last 7 games in LA. Clippers are 2-5 ATS in their last 7, but they're 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. The Suns have been very top heavy in this series, while the Clippers role players have been the key to the series / this game specifically. The Clippers bench has outscored the Suns bench 64-23 throughout the first 2 games of the series, which is pretty ridiculous. And we know the theory of in playoff games, home team role players usually step up a little bit more. So I'm probably going to sit on the sidelines in the beginning of the day for this one, but probably be betting the Clippers by the end of the night or catch something live here in this game. I definitely think the Clippers would be the bet in this game.
Yeah, I just feels like it's one of those spots where the public is enamored with the Suns after that excellent game at home, and they're gonna, lose all their money. We got to see how far this line moves towards the Clippers, but we already are seeing 4s on the board now. God, if you want the Clippers, I mean, I imagine that you just wait and wait.
You wait and wait. I think this goes up higher.
So do I. I find it appealing. Max Willie says, I wonder if Kawhi starts to slow down at any time, playing more than he has in years. JP says, win or lose, Kawhi over 2.5 threes have been money. Troy Torrance says that he'd buy in the Clippers at 5. Brian Watson saying it's at 3.5, still at bet 365.
Yeah, 5 is where I lined it to. I had this line at 5.5.
What are your expectations of Kawhi as the series goes on?
Kawhi's a good basketball player. He just doesn't care about the regular season.
So you don't feel like...
No, he's not slowing down anytime soon. Kawhi is damn near top 5 NBA players in the league.
Oh, yeah. He's very, very, very good when he's healthy and wants to be out there. So I'm interested in the Clippers. I would like to go up against 95% of the cash, but I'm also interested to see what the market does. I mean, if the market doesn't move to 4.5, it probably...
I still would bet the Clippers.
Yeah, probably. It's almost like... It's almost like there's no way you wouldn't want to fade 95% of the cash at this point.
Especially the last game of the night. I feel like some of the early spots in the night throughout all the like different professional league sports are a little bit chalky. Today's Thursday, so that's like usually like the sharp day where a lot of the chalk hits. I think the bookies make their money here on this game because this would be a lot of legs of people's parlays to end out the night would be the Suns or the Avalanche.
Troy Troy says hard to fade the market move 9-3 against the spread this playoffs. Yeah, I hear you, Troy, but this one is much easier to explain.
Yeah, 1,000%.
When you can kind of explain what's happening here, then you can have more confidence, on it. I find this quite easy. Joe Griffin says Clippers first quarter looks good. Clippers tailed off in the second half, last game. And Real Stoney loving these three matchups, has some same game parlays, and AOD looking to live bet in the third quarter when someone's down 10-15. Okay, and this we have such a simple explanation because remember after game one, everybody was saying, God, this Clippers team could be the real deal and go on a real run here. Then, of course, they lose. Booker goes for 38 or 36 or whatever it was, and everyone's like, oh, man. The public's like, oh, they want the Suns. Suns are just going to win out. I mean, look, obviously, if the Clippers win game 3, that will change things a little. But, I mean, couldn't you just bet the Clippers money line in game 3 and game 4, and you're going to win one of them?
I agree. That's the reason why I'm interested to bet the Clippers here in this spot. I think this is a 7-game series.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit more time here, but if you bet the Clippers and lose game 3, you have to go back to the well in game 4.
I think we just sit and wait though and see how the market plays out. I mean, it's only 1:30 in the afternoon right now. By like 8 or 9 o'clock, we should have a little bit more information and market moves and trends and get in where you fit in, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm looking forward to it. It was a great breakdown. It gives us lots of food for thought as we go through the night. We have Troy Torrance in the chat, and he's now, a big part of what we're doing as we move forward here. And he's just starting to roll on Twitter. He's got his spreadsheets out there and everything. He's just putting it out and asking for nothing in return. He is a data analyst with his day job here. So I think he's going to be very helpful with us. He's just starting out on Twitter, so he only has 39 followers right now. It'd be great if we could support him and follow him. There's his Twitter handle there in the chat. So there you go. Great job, Brizzy. I love capping these Thursdays with you. Let's review all action. Brizzy has a lean towards the Sixers. He's going to use them in parlays, but it's not going to be a full unit bet at this point. He also has a lean towards Royce O'Neal, 7.5 rebounds and assists. I want the Nets early. I'm hesitant to have, because my NBA size unit size 150, and I'm hesitant to have 300 on the first quarter and the first half.
It just feels weird.
I could cut 25 off and have 125 and be at 250. I think I
honestly would go 75. It's the Nets. I mean, have they showed you anything?
I can't do that because just a $75 bet, I just don't. I feel like I don't want to cut it in half. Have the Nets shown us anything? I thought, in that first half, Cameron Johnson looked electric. Now, of course, you can't do that for a full game against Embiid. So, and it's your boy says Nets win today. Adam Silver wants more revenue.
What revenue is? And I'm not even gonna go.
All right, so I'll figure out that part. Brizzy is moving heavily on the Warriors game. First quarter -2.5. First half -3.5. The 2.5's at -105. 3.5's -125. And he's on Kevon Looney over 18.5 points and rebounds. I started to get talked into the first quarter with you guys. You guys started talking me into the first quarter. Justin McElvee's on the first quarter for 3 units at -1.5. I would have to take 2.5. So Daniel Sun says, besides sports, the only shit I watch is this show and Snowfall. I don't know what Snowfall is. I have no idea what that is. Must be some other show here. Let's go. And then Clippers, I'm interested in. I want to spend a little more time on, but I am interested. Tori Coker says Clippers will not cover the first quarter. And if they don't cover the first quarter, you can obviously get in live for a nice score. Ron Crawford.
Like a live bet game. I mean, I feel like we saw big swings in both game 1 and game 2 in those series. So eventually somebody's going to go up by 8 or 10 points.
Leonard Porch says, you guys think Looney props are worth it with no Draymond, or is it too obvious? No, it's worth it if Brizzy's on it. He's got a winning record here on the show. So I mean,
yeah, that line's going to move. I wouldn't be surprised if that closes at 19.5 at like -105 or -120.
All right. There you have it. That is our NBA breakdown here for Thursday, April 20th. Dutch Boy Fresh will be joining us tomorrow, and Brizzy can be seen here every Thursday on Betting with the Bag. Excellent work, Brizzy. Thank you for taking the time to work with us, my friend. Keep up the great work. You've been excellent here on the show, and we love capping with you. Anything you want to promote? What's going on for you right now?
Make sure you go over to Spotify, search Pub Sports Radio. We got MMA Locker Room Talk with me, Big Show, and Mills. And we got a special guest appearance this week. We had the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jeff Slaughter, on for this episode. So make sure you guys go watch it. And there's some very hot takes and some arguments. So there's a lot of money to be made inside the octagon this week. We got fights Friday night, double card Saturday. So I'm excited.
I love it. I love it. Keep up the great work, and thank you for rolling with us. Follow Brizzy on Twitter at GettingBills_. There he is, Brizzy in the house. Let's review all action and put a bow on this show. Jose, you want to jump on with me as we close it up? Let's roll. By the way, Die Hard MMA podcast is on Curtis Blades -170 here. Our guy Marcus R has a big bet tonight. He calls it a beefy bet. He's got 2K on this parlay that pays 6-1. It's Kyle Connor over 2.5 shots on goal. Mikhail Sergachev over 1.5 shots on goal. Nathan McKinnon over a half assist. Eric Howlett over 1.5 shots on goal. 6-1. In NHL, Gogster's on the Leafs in regulation at +100, and he's on the Rangers team total under 2.5 and the first period under 1.5. I'm very excited about the confidence people have in the Rangers here, but that shit can flip, and we know how good the Devils are on the road, and I really, really, really want my futures to be live.
Which future would you appreciate the most being live?
The Rangers I would prefer the Rangers make Stanley Cup final rather than the Oilers, because if it's Oilers and a healthy Bruins squad, the Oilers are going to lose most likely. If the Rangers, that means somebody's knocked off the Bruins, and then it's just wide open. If the Oilers go in, it's not going to be an easy hedge. It's going to be a real difficult one.
Yeah, because the Bruins will be like -150 or whatever.
More, I would think slightly more. So, yes, definitely the Rangers as a future I would like to be live. And it's a little higher. The Rangers is a 18-1 and 9-1, and the Oilers is 15-1 and 7-1. A conference, cup conference. So I was really happy that Gogster moved on those two early games because I'm not on them. I'm hammering the late games. Oh God, it's gonna be sweaty late night. Ron Crawford's on Colorado regulation. I'm on ad first period -0.5 at +140. Full game -1.5 at +120. Seattle, Colorado over 6 at +100. Gogster's on the over 5.5 -128. And the first period, both teams score +192. But Birdie thinks it'll be a low scoring game. We'll see. I'm nervous. BJ, after cashing his 4-unit bet, that's 2K for him. He's $500 unit better. He cashed last night with the Grizz, and he's putting some of that money back in action with another 4-unit play. He's parlaying Vegas and the Warriors money line. Troy Torrance says Curtis Blades is his boy, went to high school, played football with him. Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. And those of you who don't know, Troy Torrance, All-American wide receiver at St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Nice type. It's nice to have class. Nice to have class.
You have a type. You do. It's all right. We know.
Knights first period -0.5 at +165. Full game -1 at +108. And Winnipeg, Vegas over 5.5 -115. I'm all over this spot, and Gogster wants nothing to do with this game. God, the Knights just drive me crazy. Then we have Pip Slap play today in baseball, Minnesota Twins. That game starts in 1 minute. Jose's on the Red Sox -1 at +113. I'm off that spot. I'm on the Angels first 5 at +120. LA, New York first 5 under 4.5 -115. I bet those already. Jose's on the Angels first 5 +125. Angels team total over 3.5. Full game at -110. Reds, Pirates, we stayed off. Rockies, Phillies, we stayed off. Jose's on the Cubs team total over 5 at -110. That's our playback game. So join Jose and Dabby Cab for the playback spot here tonight, and you can watch it with the guys. It's going to be fun. Then I'm adding the Padres -1. That's Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today. San Diego -1. I'm going to be rolling with them. And Jose's on the Padres first 5 team total over 2.5. Mike M says some last minute line movement to your Red Sox. Jose, that is a good sign. Daniel Sun says he's nervous about the night's game more than anything. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a sweaty late night. But you know what? I love the shit. I love this. The kids are asleep downstairs in the dark, sweating out this action. It's why we do it. Sometimes it's painful, but it's why we do it.
Razor Sharp, see Primal Jimmy. I want to see that side of you just sweating some hockey action, walking around like that.
Well, I'm off the sauce, right? I only drink on the live stream, so it's not as.
Yeah, I've seen the pollutant do that. I've not seen sober Jimmy do that.
Yeah, I'm very quiet, very solemn, quiet, but I have an inner rage. Jose, did you move on Mets Giants?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I was Jose, but no action beside it. $300 gamblers first glance is Giants money line at +105. That is the gamblers first glance +105. Then in NBA, Brizzy. We just went over all Brizzy in all the NBA. We don't need to go over that again. Piker says gluten-free Jimmy is much more cautious, Jimmy. I don't know if it's much more cautious. I'm going to have a ton of cash in play. But the pollutant Jimmy makes, mistakes. I'm embarrassed about this, and I wish I didn't do this, but after losing on Sunday night, I put $500 on the Stars to win the series at -145. And I would not have. It was just out of anger and it's just.
You're like, fuck you, Terry.
I like Terry, and he was right about the Wild. I had them under 99.5 points. He had them over 99.5, and he won. And no, nothing to do with Terry. After we talked it out, I thought that was probably the most confident spot on the board, but I'm pretty nervous about this. Mike M says Mania 0-5-1 first 5 money line is a dog.
I'm really hoping that Dallas Stars series goes very long, because I'm trying to get up to Dallas next weekend, and I would like to see a Stars game is what I'm trying to do. So
I was upset that I made the bet. Not that I think the bet is wrong, but it obviously came out of not the right.
Well, yeah, -145 is juicy too. Yeah,
I don't mind that with a $500 bet. I'd mind that when it's a regular unit size bet. And that's $200 for me. The reason why it bothered me is because when I woke up the next day, I was like, oh God, I hope Dallas wins game 1 so I can hedge a little bit out of it. And that's not a good sign. But I only made one $500 bet all year, and that was the Rangers to make the playoffs at -110. That cashed easily. Of course you hammer that. This should have just been a regular bet. I don't like that. Whatever.
Well, are you going to hedge out of it now? 1-1?
Oh, can't hedge out of it now 1-1 because you're getting I need the only way to hedge out of it is if the Stars, even if the Stars are up 2-1, I think you can't hedge out of it because the game's 4 in Minnesota. So the only you can't I can't hedge out of it now. I needed to win that first game in overtime to have any hope in doing so. There's nothing I can do. That is our show for today. Jose, I hope I didn't put pressure on you having your turning point, but what better situation? 420, you're on the Red Sox. There's no better.
Yeah, I mean, no, I put a lot of pressure on myself, so it's okay. I often say this as well. No one can say anything worse than I say to myself, so I appreciate all the comments, good and negative. And like I said with that, no one can put any more pressure on myself than I put on myself. So it is okay. I believe in myself as well. It will change. Last year, I didn't look at them recently, but last year I had up 30 unit months and I've had down 30 unit months. So that is kind of what happens. So we'll just hope and pray that I can get out of it, but it's going to be all right. But I am going to have some edibles and enjoy this as well. And thank you, Joe. I am practicing my small talk. I don't know how to, Jimmy, how do you go approach someone? How do you approach a stranger? Hey, you like the weather? What the fuck am I going to say to some random person? I'm going to tell them I just cashed socks full game -1. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I think you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Fucked. I'm going to walk around and be like, hey, socks? I have a 420 tattoo. I suck at small talk.
Why don't you say, can I get you a drink?
What if they already have one?
Well, wait till they don't.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'll be like, have you ever heard of 3 fingers, 1 whole Bouquett?
No. Don't talk about yourself ever.
No, not even with my sweet tea tits?
No, stay mysterious.
Okay, fair enough.
We're not going to put on the odds that Jose finds a mate tonight.
Oh, that was a huge underdog. Give a plus 300 there. Plus 300 at the fucking maximum.
Is this a confidence builder that Red Most is giving you? I don't know.
Keep your head up, Buttercup. You'll write that. Hey, thank you, Red Most. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's gonna be fun. Come do all the small talk tonight with me and Dabby Cab. Dabby Cab's gonna give me a 2.5 hour hype speech to get me ready to go to this party and talk to strangers. It's gonna be like a Joe Paterno and his kids coaching him up, except without the touching.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Thank you guys for rolling with us, man. That is our show for today. Tomorrow is just a massive, massive show. And we have Dabby Cab opening up his MLB account here on the show. We know how seriously he takes it, how competitive he is. So he's opening up his MLB account. So Dabby Cab will be here tomorrow. And then we have Dutch Boy Fresh for NBA. Thank you guys. AOD. We love you, man. Real Stoney, Daniel Sun, Equinimus, Deshaun G's on Nets for scoring. I'm going to roll with you on that. Joe Yorkovich, Mike M, Razor Sharp Picks, Preston Ekdahl, Andrew G, Real Deal Prime, Rem Most, Alfred 44, Johnny Guns, Bo Jackson.
Some really good suggestions coming into the chat right now.
Welcome, everybody.
Really good. Some good bets, too, by the way. Bo Jackson said, I'm smashing plus 1,800. He's taking the big dog there.
He is.
That's a Bo.
Wow. Wow.
Bo, I'll shoot you a message on Twitter the exact moment that cashes.
Jay Peasy, Max Swelly, Rick J, Brian Watson, Dan Kelly, Leonard Porsche Jr., thank you guys, man. Thank you. Tell me you didn't just say that wrong, Crawford. He's on KBO NC Dinos tomorrow. That is our show for today. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. Let's get back to our winning ways. It was a slight winning day yesterday. We need more of that. Jose, will you please let us into the future and bless our action?
Buddy, you guys fading me. Your action's already blessed already. But today is the fucking first day of the rest of my life here. You know what's going to happen today, Jim?
What's that?
I'm going to cash my Red Sox bets because Tanner Houck just went 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get intensely inebriated. Okay, thank you. I'll back up now so that I don't have to see my full fucking head. I'm getting intensely inebriated today with Dabby Cab on the playback.tv /Pub Sports Radio. And I am going to talk to one stranger today, and she is going to be a girl. I believe in myself, damn it. I believe. And if you believe with me, we can achieve greatness.